我觉得 Super Weekend 的名次其实并不重要，我只需要就是我们能稳扎，然后到决赛，然后在决赛再重拳出击。
Поэтому, надеюсь, наша строчка будет как можно более высокой. Благодаря тому, что мы просто будем хорошо играть и найдем tот самый поток.
650 civarı toplayacağımızı düşünüyorum.
He isn't brave enough to take the fight. He isn't brave enough to go for the knock. He resets. Illan is back alive. Goes to top. Goes to the first diver. Is Illan now Rolkers heading in further forward. He'll back up.
在经历了2天的淘汰赛之后，我们在队内就是进行了一些心态上的一些调整和一些转点和那种在转点上面复盘了很多，然后熟悉了各个队伍的跳点和转点位置。
其实我觉得 Super Weekend 的名次其实并不重要，我只需要就是我们能稳扎，然后到决赛，然后在决赛再重拳出击。
V getting into some gunfire right here. Oh, Udor pulling up the buggy.
Oh, next Ruda. Already down 2 men. That's not looking good. And how this ball falls down. Fedor in the clothesline, taking a lot of damage. He's not going to be able to withstand that one. He also falls down. Now next Ruda left with only one last man alive. And Frozen is hauled away in the middle of nowhere. He's running. He's on a run. He doesn't want to fight against Navi. It's understandable. He wants to play things a little safe.
That zone again, White moves up towards the north. This is nice game to lose when it comes to entering in his zone quickly. Quickly go for the punish to find Kitsune. That's the knocks that we were looking for in the edge of zone that they're going in for. But can they translate that into the kills?
That's what I'm looking for. And so far it seems like they will be able to. Navi's already down and bleeding.
Первые 2 дня были не совсем удачные, но мы понимали, что нужно будет адаптироваться прямо по ходу турнира, потому что есть команды из американского региона, с которыми мы вообще не играли ни разу. И это просто будет планомерная работа, в ходе которой мы научимся играть в таких ситуациях, в таких играх с такими командами и будем вновь показывать лучший результат. Наша главная цель к финалам — это просто найти свою игру, чтобы показать всю свою мощь, весь наш потенциал уже непосредственно в этапе, который действительно многое значит, который будет гарантировать проход на чемпионат мира, финал чемпионата мира. Поэтому, надеюсь, наша строчка будет как можно более высокой, благодаря тому, что мы просто будем хорошо играть и найдем тот самый поток.
knows Golden probably looking for this pickup, probably looking for this revive. I don't think it's going to be possible. Golden needs to make sure to be locked and loaded, ready to take this engagement. Silas going to be pushing with the UMP, going for that straight out of.
Turnuva başlamadan önce 600 puanı bulur muyuz diye tartışıyorduk aramızda arkadaşlarla. 650 civarı toplayacağımızı düşünüyorum. Merhabalar, ben SPG'den Silas. 10 maçın şu 2 gün üzerinde 10 maçın 7'sini falan yeni almayı düşünüyorduk ama sadece 4'ü nasip olabildi. Bazı maçlar zaten sattık. Bombaya falan filan olsun. Ya bunları çalıştık, tabii ki de bekliyorduk her şeyi. Yani hiç şaşırmadık. Normal hedeflerimize doğru ilerliyoruz.
Nope.
Or at least they will have a little bit of chance to try and come up on top. But over here, a little bit of highlights from the past. This is how things really look like. Oh no!
Furious Gaming, I think the real winner here is going to watch.
Through the game, SNS Dugan machine was taken out. And look at this, Rise! They're just always on that aggressive foot, man. Sometimes you gotta hold your horses, Rise.
Nope.
Is now
Oh, he slips down. No!
Coming in right, but it takes the zone. Oh no, he slips again. He's trying to survive. He's barely got some form of survival going on. Don't slip again, please. No trigger. You feel it. It's like an action movie in Hollywood. You couldn't use apples. It's got to change right now. They're getting lit up and monkey inside of that blue zone. It's not working out for.
Ready for extract.
PUBG Mobile fans around the world, welcome to the 2021 PUBG Mobile Global Championship. To the top teams across all regions, we have a message for you. The Middle East, you have proven your worth. Now, make your formidable debut on the PMGC stage. South Korea, forget the past. This year, show the world you've ascended. Remind the world of South Korea's raw talent. Japan, you came so close last year. But what doesn't kill you only makes you stronger. Bring it back better than ever. The Americas, you're the alpha dogs that dominated the West. Now, lead the pack on the world stage. Southeast Asia, you took down so many strong teams on your journey to the top. It's time for a comeback on the global stage. Europe, it's now or never. Push your limits and surprise us all. This is the moment to create your legacy. South Asia, you were the dark horse of 2020. Amaze those who would underestimate you again. China, you carry the crown of last year's PMGC. Now, with everyone's eyes on you once more, can you secure back-to-back victories? PMGC needs a champion. The world needs a champion. Who will stand victorious in the end? Who will be next to glory?
I saw the first light, the first steps. Now I see much more. I capture Earth in all its beauty. I see action. I see drama. And I see it in the finest detail. Moments of inspiration. And the first steps. I am the 1+9.
Hello, PUBG Mobile fans. It's almost time to bring together the world's top teams for the PUBG Mobile Global Championship 2021. This year's PMGC has a total prize pool of $6 million for teams and players, and tons of great rewards for our fans as well. PMGC will consist of 2 stages, League and Grand Finals. The League phase will last from November 30th to December 24th. During the league phase, teams from the Americas and Europe will compete in the West League, while teams from Asia and the Middle East will compete in the East League. Each league, 20 teams will compete on Tuesdays and Wednesdays for 16 slots to compete on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday in that week's Super Weekend. The total Super Weekend scores over the first 3 weeks will determine which 16 teams will compete in the PMGC League Finals during the final week. The top 9 teams from the East League Finals, the top 6 teams from the West League Finals, and a special invited team will advance to the PMGC Grand Finals. The PMGC Grand Finals, which will take place on January 21st, 22nd, and 23rd, will determine the PMGC 2021 Global Champions. Who will be the next to glory? Don't miss a single minute of exciting PMGC action.
Hello and welcome to PUBG Mobile Global Championship 2021 West League. It is the very last Super Weekend 3, and it is day 2. After today, there's only 1 day left. I'm your host, Spancargo, and with me today are analyst Zute and the 7 Worlds Gaming. How are you guys? This is the second day of the Super Weekend.
Oh, I'm amped. Each day is going to get better and better. The massive finale will be tomorrow, but this is going to be the point of the game where things really start heating up. And I feel like we'll have a better idea of just how explosive it might get on the last and final day. What are your thoughts on this one, Seven?
I'm the same way. For a lot of teams, today is going to be make it or break it for them. Either they show up or tomorrow they're pretty much just trying to get some clips for their Twitters, because that's what's going to happen for some of these teams, all right? How are you doing, Sven?
I'm doing great. I also cannot wait to just go ahead and get into the action, because as you guys can see here, as everybody knows at this point, this is the very last Super Weekend. There's going to be 5 matches today, 5 more matches tomorrow, and then from the top 16, those are the teams that move on to the league finals to get a part of trying to get that $6 million prize pool. So a lot is on the line. You guys already kind of talked about it. This is where everything kind of stands. If you don't do well today, tomorrow, even more difficult to kind of go on ahead and come back from. And as of right now, the team in 16th place has 144 points. It'll be interesting to see if anybody at this point is really going to be able to catch up to them in these 5 matches today.
Oh, that 144 is not going to stay. Like, after this first game, that 16th place point marker spot that we're eyeing is going to change completely. I'm imagining, or I'm hoping, right, the teams near the bottom all start off with a strong first game. That way, that point race just keeps, quickening, that pace keeps going. So we'll get like a really exciting look at all these teams scrambling to try and qualify.
And there's actually an interesting number of, we were kind of talking about this right beforehand, there's a good amount of teams that aren't doing well that actually need to go on ahead and do well. 7, some of them being Exet, Eastern Gaming, a ton. There's a couple more. There's only 2 teams that I feel like I can point out that actually are doing well that need to be right now.
Definitely. I mean, with Supermassive Blaze, I noticed that yesterday they definitely took advantage of Ghost Gaming not being in this Super Weekend in Miramar. They were pretty much able to play at their pace. They were able to collect some great points. But besides that, Miramar, in Sanhok, there wasn't really much to see in Erangel. So hopefully that team will be able to step it up here in Erangel. And then going to the other teams with Blue Chaptan. I mean, Blue Chaptan, I was talking with Sute about this, and he told me that yesterday they had an amazing finish of the day. So that's great momentum.
Yes,
that hopefully they'll be able to carry over. And then that leads me to what I was hoping to see, something different out of Exit. All right, I was hoping to see some aggressiveness, but boy, I saw Fenerbahce being able to kind of bully Exit in a way. Right now, Exit's landing between 2 teams in Erangel, and they haven't really been able to play their style. I'm really interested to see how Exit's going to be able to play today, because at this point, Sute, I feel like they need some kind of miracle.
Ooh, yeah, Miracle Run. I feel like the Miracle Run for me started yesterday, and it didn't start off as a run. So I think it's like, I understand, Seven. You weren't here yesterday. I was here yesterday. I'm right there with you. Like, I'm cheering for Exet and whatnot, but for me, I think it's just over. But it's not over. until all the games are done, right? Technically, if they get like 3 chicken dinners today, they're right back in that running. So we'll see what kind of exit shows up today. I'm hoping it's that exit though that gets that 3 chicken dinners, because ooh, that's gonna just be so exciting to watch.
Yeah, so it's not over, but since they didn't have a great performance yesterday, it just increases the difficulty, increases the performance that they have to have today, because coming into today with 22 points and the next team right above them having 114, that seems like a mountain 7. I don't know how I would feel if I was taking a look at those numbers.
Yeah, it's definitely a challenge. I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and say it's not a challenge, but it's doable. As Sute just said, it's doable if they come out and play this right. It's doable if they come out and kind of show off the likes of what we saw from SCG on that first Super Weekend, right? We know what these teams are capable of. We know they're here for a reason. But it's gonna cut, and this is pretty much why I'm gonna be looking at XS so closely this first match, because after that first match, you're gonna go into Miramar. Yes, they did perform really well yesterday in Miramar, but the Erangels, they just haven't really been performing that well. And the Sanhok, I mean, the Sanhok from them, it was another one of those matches where they were able to perform a little bit better than what they're doing in Erangel, but it's just not good enough because we're only playing 1 Sanhok a day. Now, another team that I was kind of hyping up during the week of League play, and that I was hoping they'll be able to make it here to this Super Weekend, and they are, and now they're kind of doing a table turn in regards to their performance, is Blue Chaptan. I'm loving what I'm seeing out of them. Sute, this is a team that I can definitely see them building up a star in Elaine, I think it's his name. I can't remember it right now, but that man has showcased some insane skill, and I would love for them to make it to the finals.
Yeah, one team that we haven't talked about, now that we have this graphic on the screen, is Black Dragons, okay? They're not playing this Super Weekend. If you take a look, 13th place down to 16th place is just 40 points away. We have 5 games today, 5 games tomorrow. That's 10 games. So an average of just 4 points would get all these teams past up Black Dragons, and potentially Black Dragons might get kicked out of the top 16. So that could be something that's happening that we'll definitely be able to see more of a clearer picture of at the end of today. But my prediction is, I think Black Dragons might not make it at the end of the weekend.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. I think Blue Chaptan has a great chance here. Same with Eastern Stars. Eastern Stars, though, yesterday was super lackluster for them. And I mean, and to kind of go back to the Exit train here, if Exit wants to even catch up to Black Dragons, they need to start averaging about 16 points per game, which after what happened yesterday, boy, it's going to be very unlikely, Sven.
Yeah, I don't disagree. Just taking a look at the teams that didn't do well that need to. I mean, obviously, Exit only being able to grab the 22 points, then Eastern Stars only being able to pick up 14 points yesterday. A ton. I mean, they were able to pick up at least 26 points, and then kind of on the edge as well as Supermassive Blaze and Blue Chaptan. I mean, they didn't do horribly, but they definitely didn't do as well as I feel like they need to be. The teams that are doing well that need to be right now, I feel like, are Mad Bulls and Next Ruya. So hopefully that they can kind of switch over to the different list there, and we can actually take a look at our current giants right now. That's S2G and Alpha 7. We ended up seeing some interesting performances coming through from them just yesterday, but these are actually the stats from all the Super Weekends, Ute.
Yeah, so this is your first and second place team coming into today. First place being S2G at 352, Alpha 7 right behind them at 345. You can just take a look at the stats right there. Pretty much almost identical. But if we were to take a look at the third place team and the fourth place team and even the fifth place team, I bet all of their stats in this kind of team summary page, if it were shown, would be extremely similar as well, because they are just points within each other. So there's also that other race for the first place Super Weekend total. There's no extra prize for that in particular besides bragging rights. And honestly, we come here to play competitive, to watch competitive, for the bragging rights. So that is still something that a lot of these teams near the top are shooting for at 7.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we're getting a head-to-head here between Milos and Frozen. Some interesting players. We've seen Milos before put up some interesting damage points right now. Not so much, you know. Not sure if we're kind of trying to bash these teams or what, these players or what's going on here, but I would definitely love to see more out of AT7, considering that AT7 is one of those teams that is currently within that bottom list, right? If they don't wake up, they could be passed as well by some of the teams that are trying to qualify. Going back to what you were saying, Sue, and something that I love that you mentioned is that third place team, and that is Knights. Right now, Knights, I feel like they're getting in such a good wave of just becoming this fragging power team, and I feel like it has to do a lot with now Xenox filling in that role that a lot of us have been expecting. Right now, Knights has about 198 ilms, and the second place team, Alpha 7, is the one that's currently chasing them with 181 ilms. So I'm loving what I'm seeing out of Knights. I would love to continue that kind of aggression and for them to just kind of get everything to fall in place as we're going to be heading to finals.
Even just yesterday, we ended up seeing the Knights, Alpha 7, and S2G all kind of keep swapping places just in 5 matches. So honestly, I don't think those spots that they have right now are even solidified whatsoever. I feel like they're kind of going to be duking it out for that top spot today and tomorrow as well. You guys already said it doesn't necessarily matter all that much. It's just the top 16, but definitely bragging rights is something to look forward to. Another thing that you guys can brag about is if you have a 1+9 and 9 Pro. I know HotJukes does it all the time because of hot flagship performance and an immersive 120Hz display and hypertouch technology made specifically for gamers, the 1+9 and 9 Pro are your best shot to going ahead and climb that leaderboard. But this is the thing that we've all been waiting for now, y'all. We're about to be going into our first match on Erangel, and I want to see some predictions. I need to know why you guys are going to choose these teams. Let's just start over with you, Seven.
With me, I mean, I kind of talked about them earlier. I'm hoping the miracle run will start here. If not, then I'm just not going to be picking them anymore. Exit. I would love to see Exit come out and just have an amazing performance. I would love to see them put up some ilms as well. Even if they don't get the chicken dinner as I'm predicting here, I just want to see some points out of them. Whether it's placement points, whether it's ilm points, just give me something Exit because we need it right now. If you want to have any chance of qualifying. How about you, Sue? Who you got?
I'm right there with you in spirit, Seven, but yesterday when I picked Exet, like it just each time I picked them it went so terribly, and the last time we both picked the same team, Alpha 7, that also ended up horrendously. So I'm not picking Exet. I'm gonna look at the next team at the bottom, and that's actually Balut Chop Tan. They are not last place, but pretty much right above Exet. So they're also chasing for that, qualifying spot, that top 16. And something to add, yesterday, the very last game of yesterday, Balut, they didn't get a chicken dinner, but they finished that match second place overall. So they gained a ton of points. I'm hoping that momentum carries over straight into the first match today.
Okay, well for me, I actually went on ahead and chose Mad Bulls because they're not towards the bottom of that leaderboard. They are in that 15th place position, still only 4 points away from 16th, which is a scary position to be in. But I also chose them because yesterday's performances, they got a 4th place and 2 third places. They're the team that got the highest amount of placement points in those regards. I feel like it's about time that they go on ahead and take it a notch higher and get that chicken dinner. So that's why I went ahead and chose Mad Bulls. Again, all these teams desperately need these points to be hoping to get in the top 16. And we're going to be starting off on Erangel. Is there anything specific that you noticed yesterday, Zute, that we need to go on ahead and pay mind to?
Oh, I think Seven would want to talk about this because he was watching, and the team he picked, well, they always kind of get into a little bit of shenanigans in the beginning of Erangel. Isn't that right, Seven?
Yeah, man. I was looking at the rotations from Exit. All right, when they land in Erangel, they tend to land Melta, but they literally land in a sandwich that you probably don't want to be part of. You have Bevernache towards farm, and then you have I think it's AT7 that's on esports towards their right side, towards their east. And so far, it really didn't work out so great for them when they were. I think it was on the second match, Exit decided to put Bevernache, and then they ended up getting third party by Supermassive Blaze. And on the last match, something that it's interesting, and I'm wondering if we're going to be seeing it again here today, Fibonacci decided to push towards exit, even though ultimately it didn't end up working out for Fibonacci. They kind of give him a warning sign of, hey, we ultimately, I don't think we want you to be here on the finals because you're going to be affecting our rotations. And Sute, this is something that we've seen previously many times. I mean, many times. We see a lot of teams, if a team is going to be hindering their rotations, if a team is going to be hindering their performance or a chance of hindering their performance, they're going to be trying to attack, especially if they're currently towards the bottom and not really qualifying.
100% agree with you there. Sorry, Span. Yeah, like, targeting is a thing, and the targeting, I feel like, Span, is only going to ramp up match per match going into day 3 when it's just going to be all out chaos, which I'm so excited for.
I always look forward to it. I mean, that's really where those big macro plays that come into play. That's really where the strategy comes in. Yeah, I mean, you can go ahead and just go and play the game normally, but this is really where you do have to be thinking about, okay, who do I want to be taking to the finals with me? And that's when those shenanigans start getting had. But we don't have to wait too long to start seeing if anything's going to be happening in this first match, because we're going to be launching straight into Erangel with our casters Highland, Wolf, and Necro.
Thank you very much, Span Cargo, and we're headed up for the second day, the middle of our final Super Weekend, Necro. But it's not over for these teams. It's not over for you guys at home to PMGC West, because you guys as well can earn some beautiful rewards. You can get in the first stage of the treasure box hunts, which is only 3 days remaining, and you can enter in-game center and use a PMGC token to redeem those rewards directly. And for getting the token, you could either get one of those 3 rewards: beautiful pan, parachute, or that delicious looking golden suit that I am eyeing up all so much. You can get it as well on the reward section on your YouTube, or also in the in-game esports center. But just like our rewards that you can earn at home, these teams, they need so many rewards when it comes to these points. Some of them, Necro. I mean, XZ,
oh man,
the big one in my mind. They are looking so dire coming out of that yesterday's games.
Oh man, I've given up. Like, I said this yesterday as well. I have given up on XZ. They have been upsetting me this whole time. I had a little bit of hopes going in yesterday, but then how they put up a performance yesterday, I just feel like I'm just gonna give up on XZ. I'm not going with XZ anymore. Instead, this time I'm gonna be going with Supermassive Blaze. Now they're sitting on 16th position, and still they're not really safe. I mean, if Bullock plays really good, including Eastern Stars, if Eastern Stars as well, they're able to put on a performance, I feel like Supermassive Blaze, they might just get taken down to 17th position. So Supermassive Blaze, they're also gonna be feeling that pressure today.
You know, I'm gonna switch it up. I'm gonna go, and I've got faith in some of the other smaller teams when it comes to the point side of stuff. And I'm gonna say Eastern Stars. I think that Eastern Stars start on this southern side. They've got. I'm gonna cheat a little bit. We did see the zone. It's kind of southern as well, so I think they've got a good chance. I think the Eastern Stars definitely, we've seen good stuff come from them when they have these type of zones hit up the southern island itself, Erangel. And I think that there are definitely star-studded players, right? You look towards the Kapahala of, I think, just one of the Eastern Stars member being so absolutely brutal. But speaking of brutal, already going to be Besiktas on their knees in the hands of Furious Gaming. Papi Potro will be returned for now and 2 kills, and they will even find that knockback. So pretty disastrous right now for Furious Gaming, as they already lose out. Papi Potro triggers in, and of course, Furious Gaming, they are one of these teams that need these points.
Yeah, they definitely do need these points. That's not really a worth it fight for sure, but still, pretty sure it wasn't really in their hands. So, unfortunately, losing out on 2 players on the starting of day 2. And I also do like the point that Analyst Desk brought up was targeting. Now, I do think so. Maybe in day 2, all the teams that are all the way up on top, especially H2G and A7, now they can try and go to, like, you know, they can try and spoil some teams' games for sure. But still, I feel like doing it on day 2 wouldn't really be the best choice, right? I feel like you should always wait for day 3. Yeah. And I feel like day 3 is just going to be that day where it's like completely filled with chaos. And this is how those 2 players got taken down. Wow, that's some incredible shooting on top of the buggy.
Pinpoint shooting, and they'll even find triggers in, as we did realize later on. And of course, Enjoy did get knocked back. But the fact that Furious Gaming, they had to split so far away, made it so easy for them to actually solidify those 2 kills. As the Shigas video land this time around, there's going to be no rubber chickens coming out of that. Play it back on towards them. But to head back, of course, towards that XZ team. I think that, as you said, right, there is potentially always that chance that teams like XZ can be taken down early on by this.
Really? Is there? I mean, it's like, I feel like if you're living in reality, no, there's no chance. Jake, remember yesterday's Miramar game?
Okay.
Rookie mistakes, literally rookie mistakes in that final zone. And I was actually so unhappy with Exit when I saw them making those mistakes. I was like, Exit, you can't be doing this. Why are you literally like just straight up running inside your own death? They were just hugging their own death in that final zone. And after that game, I just gave up on Exit. I was like, if you're living in reality, you just cannot go with Exit, because I do understand maybe 3 chicken dinners back to back today. Maybe that can help them out quite a lot. Maybe they can be back in the run. But after watching how they've been playing, no, there's no way.
I went to the Mind Wipe shop after yesterday's games. You know, it was open, you know, midnight all the way through the early hours in the morning. I went, took my keys, I went out there, got myself all of that second game removed out of my head. I didn't want to remember what happened to Xset yesterday, and that's why I've got hope. I've got a hopium right now. This is what's happening to me in this second day. I feel like if I combine the hopium, then I can have the copium as well to be able to manage when Xset do actually throw in. Still believe that they can still manage it.
I mean, that's what we've been doing so far, right? They didn't really make it in Super Weekend 1. We thought, okay, maybe they're going to be making it in Super Weekend 2. No, Super Weekend 2 as well. No, then maybe Super Weekend 3. They are in Super Weekend 3. First day, completely messed up from their side. Now, second day, moving in forward, Exit, they have a lot of eyes on them. Today is really important, especially not today. This first game to start it off is really important, and they need a lot of points.
Yeah, I think it's not just Exit, though, right, who need all of these points. You talk about Erangel, and I think you had to look as well towards that last game yesterday, and Balut Shabtan, who absolutely decimated through, right, the side of S2G. Yeah, 2v4, right? They completely obliterated them, and then they went on to obliterate the rest of the lobby after that and almost secure that first position. Only Rise took them out. And keep in mind, Rise were having a fantastic day, and inline, of course, with all these other Southern American teams like A7 you can see on your screen and how great they are. But to see actually a team like Balut Shabtan step up in that final game, big highs, I think, coming into today. I have to hold my breath. I get too excited, and I see stuff like this, and I see effects eyeing up Madone. I get really nervous for myself because I feel like the caster curse is just coming.
Didn't Effect get bullied yesterday by Unicorn's Love?
That's true.
Where they were just dancing around his dead body, unfortunately.
Yes.
Hopefully he's been able to recover after that. Hopefully he's been able to recover after that.
He doesn't want
that's why. Yeah, he just doesn't want no smoke at this point. He's going to be playing each and every single duel safely. He's not going to be taking any shots. If he even enters inside a compound, he's going to be checking it like 10 times before he at least makes his mark inside it. And yeah, now talking about S2G, definitely they did get decimated by Bullock. And a 2v4, that was an insane clutch coming in from the side of Bullock as well yesterday. So as you mentioned, and as I'm saying as well, Bullock, up till now, what they've been proving is that they're really good working under pressure.
And I think that Balut are one of these teams, as you say, it just needs that kind of almost last moment pressure to be able to step up. But I think that that's the problem also with Balut, is that herein lies, they're not getting those consistent points. They're only getting those points in the last games. They're only getting these big games on the last match of the day, whereas they need to be actually in this position in 18th, stepping up a lot more than what they're doing, because there are teams, we said so close. That's a beautiful nade, though, on to Addon, because there are teams, right, like Addon, who need also these points, but I don't think Joko is going to be getting any. That will be the knock onto him and should be the confirm, as Milos and the rest of the squad will just leave out, but only into the hands of Supermassive Blaze. This don't look so good.
Oh no, out from one, trouble entered in the other. As Supermassive Blaze now looking to take down Anton. Anton already did have a casualty. Fenerbahce were the one to take one man down, and now Anton, Cardi left in the closed vicinity. Left with only 2 players alive. Anton, they're bleeding, they're hurt. Now I'm pretty sure those kills were pretty mouth-watering for Supermassive Blaze, so maybe they're going to be going for a chase, but no, instead, they just wanted this hill control.
That's about as free as you get for kills. You just walk up to your position that you want inside of the zone, and then after just throw them in on by, and they say, thank you very much. Gonna grab an extra one for us. There's Fenerbahce, Supermassive Blaze, they share, because sharing is caring after all. And A7, they want to share some of the blood out of Besiktas. And Zessi also going to get drove off out of the zone. Unfortunately, coming out from Yasna Poliana, there is no hope right now for, I think, Besiktas when it comes to them being so split. Back in onto the blue they go. As they will survive for now. Almost a knockthrow coming through from Zessi in return, but he is under fire as here comes the flank side.
Oh man, here we go. Revo, we do know how good he is when it comes to those nades, when it comes to those utility usage. Was able to deal a little bit of damage though, but nothing really crucial or critical, as I would like to say. Zessi still able to patch himself back up and get spotted out in the open. Doesn't really have a lot of cover to work with, and Revo taking full advantage of that and punishing him instantly. Now Besiktas in the front of A7. They are looking to inflict some pain. They have already made Besiktas handicap. Besiktas as well. Got to talk about this team, man. Entering inside Super Weekend 2, things were looking quite dire for them. But in Super Weekend 2, they just played it to perfection. And now S2G going up against Supermassive Blaze. Strong taken out. S2G is one of those teams that you really need to watch out for because they're just going to be playing the spoil sport.
Oh man, S2G, they're the top team in this 20 of the entirety of PMGC West.
They don't care.
Oh no, they don't care at all. They definitely qualified and they're looking to take out Supermassive Blaze, so that's for sure. So let's run him down. They don't even care if they'll lose one because they'll just charge Timber straight in onto the other.
No.
And he knocks a second into the third onto the molly. In Cap, he's nowhere to dive, nowhere to hide. And Timber 1v3s out the rest of Supermassive Blaze. Zexet also in some trouble though. It's a reunion as we saw in day one. It didn't go so hot for Rebellion, but this time, where's his team? Where are they going to be to save him?
Oh, Rebellion looking to take the revenge. Two players in the front. He's the only man in the close. Duke and Machine is in the back, and he can try and give him some cover fire. I do like Falky's position as well. All the way on top, gaining a little bit of high ground. Nate quite close, J7. Oh, almost could have been taken out, but still, he's able to stay alive on a sliver of health. He's going to be managing himself back up. He doesn't have any first aid to work with. And again, Exit, they're not really looking good in terms of loot. And on over here, Besiktas again, another man falls down, A7. They're just not stopping. It seems like they're quite addicted to Besiktas.
Yeah, Besiktas is getting caught coming out against Napoleon. Usually they drop with Knights, but Knights instead they drop towards that southern side, towards the western bridge, where Queso would normally be, but Queso aren't here. So that's now a free open space for Knights to take, and as such, as Napoleon is, yes, Besiktas the only team there, but they get caught by, of course, those teams also coming elsewhere, just around those Beryl Hills, and Alpha 7 being one of them, and getting punished hard for it. Next Royal as well, going to be heading in towards, of course, that second phase shift. It did still leave some of that South Island available, but for the most part, it has shifted towards the southwestern side, and it has shifted towards that quarry, more heading in towards the Gatka fields in between that and Pachinki. So it's going to be more of this open zone. I feel that these teams are going to be playing more towards the edge and expect to see those clusters, I think, here, Necro, of teams trying to hang on around this blue zone. Just rightly so, Exit doing so.
Oh, here we go. Exit now going against Fenerbahce. One man falls down from Exit. Kill switch taking out the game. It's being knocked off the way now. Fenerbahce do realize they have the little bit of advantage when it comes to those mental games. Polo as well has taken down quite low, and we do know Exit, they aren't really looking good in terms of that. Nate's gonna be putting the man down. Polo being taken down. Now that's their star player taking out the game, and Duke and Machine looking to take down the second last player. Also goes down. Exit now left with just that one last man alive, and I feel like he should try and play for the positioning, and that's what he would probably do. He's just going to be hiding in that little compound, little house, and wait for Fenerbahce to take a leave. On the other hand now, Knights, they do spot at bullet chopped on, but still somehow they're able to make it out alive from that. And now Fernand just left all by himself, and he will be taken care of.
And Alucard finds that extra third-person peek, strikes down the second, and they all drop down. It's only Raiz, I think, is the one alive. Yes, he will be now the only hope for his team, but look at how low he goes. He needed that first aid kit, and one extra bullet will do it. It's Chico. Looks to drop down. Won't find the angle for now, but I don't think Raiz is long for this world as tries his best. But here comes Chico. The train is arriving, and it's destination death for Raiz as Alucard also jumps on top.
Oh, here we go. The MT49 is not going to run out of bullets as the lawnmower and finally puts him down to sleep. Man going down from the side of Bullock. And Vault, that also means they have been eliminated from the game. 2 early eliminations, Supermassive Blaze and Bullock out the game now, and it seems like Exit are going to be following it up. They're just going to be following the trend. Oh, Molotov quite close. Bomb, this could be dangerous because, of course, he's also taking a lot of damage from the blue zone. Same thing goes with Jay. But instead, Jay's on a prowl, he's on a hunt. And Exit, I feel like they've realized it's do or die situation. You might as well try and go for as many kills as possible. And Jay, he's doing the exact same thing. But Fenerbahce, when it comes to that individual skill, when it comes to that gun power, they're just better.
It just looked so much better than the rest of Exet in that fight. I think Exet, they were trying to play so split. They were trying to control that building, but again...
They're trying to play safe, that's the problem.
Right, it was a safe, it was a sat Fenerbahce. They actually beautifully, in the lead up to that fight, had, of course, that high ground position. They were choking out the exit points of Exet. Is now Besiktas as well. Gonna choke out, of course, another of Furious Gaming and Revenge. Oh, it's even sweeter right now as Furious Gaming will lose a third. The screen will also fall, sending them down to only one player. And Eastern Stars, speaking of players though, it might be Knight's next bout of it.
Oh, here we go though, but Coops has been taken out, so Eastern Stars might just have a little advantage. And they're going straight for that hill, but they're also taking a lot of damage. Xenox connects a few shots. Octavian, though, still alive behind that little rock, and Aethys still just directly makes it on top of it. Does realize as soon as they do get that positioning, as soon as they do get that high ground, the tables will be flipped, and that's what exactly happens. Now Eastern Stars have the prime positioning over Knights, and Knights will have to back out, but Circle shifting right out in the open in no man's land. Actually, not a no man's. Fenerbahce right on the edge. Anton Cardi, the only man left alive from that team, is right in the center. But I feel like Cardi's position is not really great unless he's able to keep himself anonymous.
Yeah, this is a really big position of that compound just towards the south of the coastline. That's where teams are going to be heading up, because if you can control that compound and just towards the western side, just towards the north exits out of that compound, it goes into more of that flats. It goes into more of that roadside and that openness, and to control that would be such a gatekeep out of all of these teams, and that's what we're really looking for. Are these teams going to be brave enough to step across that road? Next, Roy Akudo is going to be the first there, but I think it's going to be the squads, the trios, like that of Mad Bulls that can control it.
Oh, man. Unicorns of Love right next to SDG. I don't like this. Unicorns of Love as well, they're looking pretty good on the overall ranking, so of course they are pretty comfortable. They have made their mark in top 16, without a doubt, eyes closed, because they still have so many games left in their hands. Fresh on the other hand now, going to be crossing over on the other side of the wall. Unicorns of Love realizing there's a team on the hilltop. Have a clear line of sight on them. We're able to connect a few shots, but they're not really able to find any knocks. And that's what they're desperately looking for, those knocks. Unicorns of Love, they need to take care of their back though. STG might just strike in any time, and Unicorns of Love, if they're pretty much tunnel vision on all the teams that are trying to make it inside the zone, that can be a little problem.
Still though, Unicorns are love. I like the patience coming through from, but the problem with Unicorns though is that yes, they're playing towards the edge of the zone, but you do need to worry about the likes of Eastern Stars. Knights are not so much of that problem. They have tried to go for what is now this extremely wide western shift up towards the north end of the zone. I think this is going to actually be very punishing for Knights because they're going to spend so long getting around this location. And Footballers, I think that Loverson, yes, with the help of Lutz, will now actually spot Knights out, which is only going to make this rotation even more difficult. Chico as well, still to cross over that roadside. And Knights, I think they're going to have this problem of being split, not having this position, because they are giving up so much in terms of not going straight in onto this zone because of the fact that Unicorns of Love were there to stop them.
Oh man, quite a bold rotation though. And Unicorns of Love, it seems like one man has been taken down from the side of Eastern Stars, so Eastern Stars are looking a little bit better in that fight. But over here, open rotations from the side of Knights, they just don't have any other option. Chico ramming his vehicle straight onto Aton Cardi, and Vol Cardi is just going to be gifted over a free kill. But no, guess what? The nade was quite close. No, it's instead Cardi just lobbing in those nades. Does he exactly know? There's no one really outside over here. Blows up that buggy. Now finally Cardi should realize that he's on the safe zone for now. But also the problem is his position has been revealed. Teams do know Cardi's all by himself out in the open. On the other hand, now Eastern Stars, they did try to make a rotation on Footballists, but Footballists are just that wall who are not going to be penetrable.
But Octavian, where does he go? He's going straight into the fight. I think Octavian, he should be hitting it up more on that bike, of course, continuing around the edge of that zone. He had to use, I think, the time that his dead friends were giving him. Those shots in on to confirm the kills, Octavian maybe could have used to wrap around into the zone, but instead tries to play it more sneaky, but of course he can't because that zone is continuously moving. And S2G there, I think that Octavian very shortly will follow as this phase 4 will be struck through, and there goes Octavian as well. Won't be able to see it, but that is a dire phase forward back. Shifts away from the compound, away from Mad Bull's strength, and now into the openness. That road there to split down the center. These teams again gonna have to decide here, Necro, which side do we want to play on. Personally, for me, I've been looking more towards that eastern side. That's where you've got the hills.
Yeah,
that's where you've still
on the
got
right side.
some form of forest line that you can use to have at least some cover.
I mean, that's when we can safely say, right? Nextria has found themselves in a prime positioning. They're looking pretty good. They have those trees to work around with, a little bit of dips as well on top of the hill. But on the other hand, now S2G, they're going against Rise. Rise yesterday has put on an absolute incredible performance. It has been their day. But now S2G going against Rise. They're also taking a lot of damage on the other hand, on the returning end. But Rise as well, they're looking pretty crumbling. And now Rise as well, they're down quite low. Only just have one last man left alive. He has a lot of burden on his shoulder. He has some heavy lifting to do. He should be able to get the fallen man back up on his feet, but let's just find out if he's able to do so or not. Smoke's being deployed to make sure no one's really getting that visual info on Rise instead. And Rise, yep, it seems like they're able to get those fallen man back up. And Rise now is a 2-man strong.
We actually had a zone like this, just similar, in on earlier this week, where it was actually Mad Bulls, of course, if you remember. They took that second position there, Necro, inside of that shack, but they won't be there to do it this time. Instead, they are inside a full-blown compound. And Unicorns of Love, I like this coming through from Volkers, doing some scouting. I like the Unicorns of Love are trying to use the cover of this building to wrap around the zone, try be a bit more sneaky, whereas Footballists, fortunately for Aton, they are being much more full frontal, and Cardi, he is about to see the rest of his friends in the afterlife because it's a one-way ticket into the world of heaven.
Just runs on top of the flames somehow, does not really catch himself on fire. Footballists, they want to flush this man out, but they just don't really have those utilities to work with. But finally, the aggression pays off. And Cardi, well, just gets taken off on top of the flames. And now they also get that little bit of shack control, so Footballists will find themselves in safety for now, but they're right on the edge. I don't like their position. They will still need to try and make it in a little bit more to at least be on the safer side. But Unicorns of Love quite close. 2 Mad Bulls. Mad Bulls yesterday as well, having quite a great day. Maybe they're looking to shift the momentum forward in the day too. Quite close. The nade. Could have closed things out on Rolkis, but he was able to crawl back to safety.
But still, Yin Yang going very, very low. Another nade strikes onto Rolkis, tickling him down, is forcing out the first aid kit. As it will slow it down the approach to Unicorns of Love. A second nade will go wide, coming through from Unicorns of Love in return. As it is the war of attrition right now. It's about finding that extra angle further forward. But where does the phase 5 go? It goes deep up towards the northern side, and now it's a sense of hesitancy and a sense of urge as these teams need to have to go for these fights. They find Yin Yang. Monkey 2, a phase is free.
That's a crack on the defense, and that's a huge crack in Mad Bulls. To fill that crack up, oh no, I don't feel like any kind of metal is going to be enough to fill that crack up this time. And Unicorns of Love, that crack being found, they're just trying to penetrate through it. They're trying to get inside that. But still, Mad Bulls, Agori, the final man left alive now. He just has to hold this off. He just needs to hold this fort off, but I feel like that's going to be next to impossible. 1 versus 4 situation. Agori has a lot of burden, and I can feel him sweating right now. I can feel him panicking, and he finally falls down. And now Unicorns of Love, they're looking at a 4-man strong squad, and they're looking pretty strong inside this one. But again, the troubles do not end there. They still need to make their mark inside the zone. Next, Ruya getting charged on by Footballists. Oh, this is a complete chaos.
And Footballists, they almost lost loose, but they still take them down and taken out Nihat as well. And just like that, next Roya got a big nade, silences out 2, knocks down Realm. And now Footballists, just as quickly as they earned it in, eliminated out. It might just be Unicorns of Love next. Fenerbahce, they're defending so well. 10 kills already, and they are not looking at signs of slowing down.
Now here comes the second wave, though. Fenerbahce, the troubles are not over. Unicorns of Love are the second wave, and you need to take care of them. Limby taken out, Fenerbahce, Falky as well. But to crawl himself back to safety, but still Rebellion down quite low. Oh no, he's taking shots from the other side, and it's A7 entering the party now. But Senetex and Carrillo, I think, so goes down. You have 2 men going down, but Fenerbahce as well. A lot of pain being inflicted onto them. Those 30 bullets of pain from the signature M4. I'm pretty sure they're going to be feeling that without a doubt. But finally now, Men are being blown up all across the field over here, Jake. Kills being confirmed. Fenerbahce just left with that one last man alive, and he's looking quite healthy. He still has the potential to turn things around.
But the smoke said they're going to dissipate. They need to make that revive now. If they're going to do that revive at all, Mafioso spraying inside of the smoke, making it so impossible to be able to stand still. Fear of being caught as Valky, I think will lose their life. Will only be using their life for some form of scout ahead of the path for Dokkan Machine, but it's so dire for Dokkan. Is there? Unicorns of Love, they spot him out, they execute him away, and down to our final 3 teams. It's Unicorns of Love. They were patient. They allowed that fight onto A7 with Fenerbahce, and it might be able to clean them up because of this.
Oh man, I just love how Besiktas are playing this entire time. They were able to stay silent, let all these teams fight it out for them. Had a little bit of shack to work with. They were just using those smokes all the time, making sure no one's getting any kind of direct info onto them. Circle as well, shifting kind of right next to Besiktas. They don't really need to worry. They don't really need to leave the compound just yet. They can stay inside and at least call it a home for another couple of minutes. But on the other hand, now A7. Oh, that's a huge nade from Lin. If you talk about defense being cracking up, that's quite a huge crack, and well, it needs to be sealed as quick as possible. If Senetex is able to get back up, then maybe A7 will have a little hope. Here we go though by Unicorns of Love now. Just moving it forward, A7. Unicorns of Love, they do realize this is a do or die situation. You might as well try and go in or just go out the game completely, but A7, they're just obliterating them, and Unicorns Love, they just can't do anything at the position they've gotten themselves. Mafioso down quite low, but still, this man's aggression cannot be stopped, and he doesn't care about his HP. All he cares about is that blood, and he wants the blood from the enemy team. Molotov's out as well, just to make sure if someone's able to go down with the flames, but no, that's not going to be the case. Instead, Unicorns Love now alive with that final man. Fresh is able to take down one, actually two. And still, though, A7 looking at 2-man strong squad. They're going to be putting the final nail in the coffin. And now it's just Besiktas versus A7. And Sun HP as well has been taken out. Reset uses that smoke crossover on the other side. Well,
there it goes. Oh, there it's gone. He tried to run his best way through, but he executed double straight across. And A7, actually, to be fair to them, they've played that very patiently coming into those final few moments. I think that actually Unicorns of Love, had they been a little bit more aggressive, but they could have come out with that win, I think. The A7, they looked pretty down and out of it with the help of Fenerbahce, but because Unicorns of Love, they waited too long, they were too patient. Actually, as a result, it was A7 who were able to make all 4 of those members back up strong, and they were able to re-push out on Unicorns of Love. To be fair, A7, I liked the way that they played on that outer edge. I think now it is time to see, can A7 continue that consistency though, Neko? Because they looked in that first day like they weren't the best of teams apart from that Sanhok match.
No, I mean, A7 definitely, yeah, they do realize, man, come on, it's like, they're like, all right, we're already top 2. Do we really need to do anything? It's like, we can just sit back, eat, relax, play our games, just like it's a normal pub games, and then, well, you know, if we do need to stop in 1 or 2 games just to let people know that, okay, A7 are still the king. They do that successfully, and now entering inside the second day, winning that first game, they don't need to do anything else. I mean, all they can do is now just play for those kills.
Yeah, rightly so. I mean, yes, as you said it, A7 is all about pride right now at this point. All they need to do is still beat out S2G, and they're well on their way to doing that because S2G, of course, fell down slightly earlier in that game. I believe it was in 5th position.
Excellent, man.
The hands, yeah, of the rest of Besiktas. But, oh man, I think that this was a really disappointing game. I'm just going to say it for XZ because this is actually so good of an opportunity for XZ to actually beat out the rest of those in the lobby. But Luke Tan fell down early. Supermassive Blaze fell down early. Had XZ come out well in this game, this would have been a massive gain, not only in their own points, but in the points to overtake almost for Luke Tan, Supermassive Blaze, these other teams. This was a potential where it could have gained almost theoretically, feels like, double the points if they had done well.
Honestly, it just feels like XZ's games are not really in the, like, XZ's heads are just not really in the game, you know? It just feels like their presence of mind isn't really in the game anymore.
Giving up.
I don't even know where they're looking most of the times because they do realize there were 2 players of Fenerbahce in the front. Maybe they should try and take care of those compounds. But instead, they were just really tunnel visioned on that one man, and Dokkan Machine found the opening kill on the XZ, and that's where things really did start to fall down. And XZ, as you mentioned, that's a huge upset. I mean, for me, it's not really upset. As I mentioned, I've already given up on them.
Yeah, it's a shame because I want to have that hope for them, but every time we see them move in onto these fights, they just seem like they can't manage it as a team. And I'm waiting for Exit to confirm kills, to confirm team fights as that 4-man squad. Right now, they're playing it as 4 solos, and I think you can really see that in the way that they're individually getting knocked one by one in these fights, and there's no cover coming from them. But to explain more about why Exit and what they need to do to improve is our beautiful analyst desk and, of course, our host, Span Carter.
Alpha 7 taking yet another chicken dinner. I gotta say, I don't think we were surprised here whatsoever, especially since they had great performance coming through from yesterday. The thing that I want to focus on, though, y'all, is those teams that were taken out so early. Like 7, what is happening? Like, what are they doing that's making them being taken out so early? Because those are the teams that need the points.
They're just trying interesting stuff. All right, that's pretty much what I'm gonna put it at. With Exit, I mean, we kind of alluded to it at the beginning. They ran into Fenerbahce again. Like, it's just one of those things that, Sue, you were saying it perfectly before we even came into this segment. They could just try to rotate around them, but for some reason, Exit is just wanting that early fight, Sue.
Yeah, so I heard the caster say, what is Exit gonna do to change things up? Well, not run into this guy, because he's an MVP, right? Dokkan Machine from Fenerbahce, getting those 5 elims. I wouldn't be surprised if 2 of those were Exet's tag right in there, but 785 damage, 40% team contribution. Really good job to see Fenerbahce player up here, but as I was saying earlier, all they gotta do is get in their cars and pedal to the metal and just go past them. Go fight another team. Like, you've fought this team so many times, and each time it just never has ended well. So just get past them, take a fight with another team if you have to, or just like that was like they went out in like circle 2, circle 3 at the latest. That's when the circle's still big enough and there's enough room on the map for you to still kind of like, you know, drive past the team, get shot at, but not get, you know, taken out on rotation. It's not like the late game where you have to take fights with teams. So I'm really confused about Exet in general, overall, like their whole entire performance, because just, I know we're on the scores page, but just to remind the viewers, Exet was #1 out of North America championships, and in Americas, the entirety of Americas, Exet finished in 3rd. So I have no idea where Exet went coming into the PMGC.
Just people probably challenging them a little bit more on their right off the matches, especially in Erangel. I mean, we've seen it perfectly here in this past 2 days. But to answer a little bit of your question as well, Span, like what's happening with these teams that are towards the bottom right now, a lot of the top teams are currently starting to try to get into shape for the finals. They're trying to get into their mood to, in a way, dominate the finals. We've seen S2G stepped it up in a big way. They're being able to get elims. They're also being able to get placement points. Fenerbahce, we saw what Fenerbahce was able to do in that last match, whether it was taking a fight with Exit, winning it, or taking some of the other fights, trying to third party and doing all that stuff. A lot of these teams are starting to step up that are towards the top, and it's pretty much leaving the bottom teams where they belong. See, am I right? Yeah. Did you have some kind of saying to that?
I think, yeah, I said the race to top 16. This is starting to look more like a crawl across the finish line to top 16, because these teams are just scrambling for whatever little points that they can muster, while all the big boys are soaking up all of the points, Span.
I know I didn't really see it on that overall leaderboard graphic there, but I will say that nobody moved on that right half of the leaderboard. There was some movement, some people jumping over each other on the left side towards those top teams, but on the right side, nobody moved. So you guys are right. You guys identified it completely accurately. But let's go ahead and take a tiny bit of a breather on that one. Let's talk about something a little nice. Let's talk about a treasure box, y'all, because right now is the first stage of the treasure box hunt from November 30th to December 21st. You can enter in the in-game center and use the PMGC tokens to redeem directly. Get the tokens by watching live on YouTube, watching live in the in-game esports center, or through social media events. If you guys somehow miss out on that, even though you have until the 21st. You can also participate in the second stage of the treasure box hunt starting next week. So please stay tuned because a lot more surprises are yet to come, and that'll be from December 22nd to January 13th. So a lot of cool stuff for you guys to look forward to, and we still have a lot of stuff to look forward to in these matches. There's still 4 games left, but I have a question for you really quickly. Go ahead, put your answer in chat. You guys know the drill at this point. Which team had the largest underperformance? I feel like that could just be a general question. Oh, which team overall has had the largest underperformance? Again, put your answer in that chat, and I have a feeling that I know what these guys would answer if I was asked, so I'm curious now. Just go ahead and say it.
Sue?
I mean, I know we're on a stream delay, but I would love to take a peek at the chat by the time this pops up. I think everybody's gonna have the same answer. It's XSET. It's gotta be XSET is the biggest Actually, is this between XSET and Team Queso? Yeah, I forgot. Yeah, okay, so yeah, I'm gonna take it off XSET a little bit there. Yeah, Team Queso, they missed 3 super weekends in a row, so it's between those 2 teams. So yeah.
That's a hard one. That's a hard one to answer. Now go ahead and put your answer in that chat. But otherwise, we will be back very shortly with our very second match of today on Miramar. So don't go anywhere. We'll be back soon.
There, but he misses the shots to make 7. I think they'll be counting themselves alive. It's triggered.
Oh, that's it. He did it. He got it. I'm telling you, heel strat. But fish that.
2,000 years later.
Boxes outside the window and try to get those heels, but you don't need it. He's gonna emote on us, baby! Get play, set, get play, set, get play, baby! Let's go!
Clear right, what Navi, the rest. Oh no. Oh, it happened. Oh, yeah, well, there how could you?
Maintain that high result because the rest of his team goes behind him.
Exactly. We were also having to talk about how HDG, at least Dave was mentioning that how HDG wants to try new things, but I'm gonna hold on to my horn for now because Navi, and look at this is complete humiliation.
Slicing that, but he misses the shots to make 7. I think they'll be counting themselves alive. It's triggers in. He's a tanker, man. He's got the sound going on. He's got every move.
But this will make it big for Sanhok if they can get the chicken dinner. Now we're seeing a lot more information here. What? What? He goes back in! He goes back in! Damn, I will chicken dinner! What?
Welcome back, everybody, to PMGC West League Super Weekend 3 Day 2. We're about to be going into Match 2 on Miramar. So this is our only Miramar of today. Quite excited to see what these guys are going to be getting up to on the desert. Do you guys have any kind of predictions on just overall gameplay?
Miramar, it just all depends on the zone. We've seen the craziest zone I've ever witnessed on Miramar during this PMGC stage, so I'm just ready for another one. And taking a look at the most assists though, Footballist up here with 4 from Lutz and 4 from Rom, and Senatexa right there from Alpha 7 also putting up 4 assists. I love seeing the assist numbers come out. It just really shows teamwork. We already know who get the big numbers with the elims, right? But the assists, they do just as much work, if not more so, I would argue, than the players just getting the straight elim.
Okay. Well, yeah, we have that one Miramar. Then, of course, we have the Erangel, Sanhok, Erangel there as well. And let's just go ahead and start talking about these teams specifically now. So we talked about the overall gameplay. Now, what specific teams are we going to be looking forward to? I'm just going to go first because I'm actually going with the same team as I did the first match, and that is Mad Bulls, because I still think, once again, some sort of success is due it's due for them. It's a team towards that bottom. They did well yesterday. Where is it today? So I'm still looking forward to it. How about you, Zoo?
Okay, well, I think Seven and I, we had a little huddle. I think we both agreed, like, okay, let's just leave the bottom teams alone and let them, you know, figure things out, because the two teams we picked went out super early. So I'm on the opposite side now. I'm picking the top teams for the predictions, and Alpha 7 just won. And you guys always got to remember, as big as Alpha 7 is, there's a bigger, if not the same big size brothers out of the same region, Team Rise Esports. I think when Alpha 7 starts doing well, Rise Esports looks at that and it's like, no, we could do better. So I got a small hunch that maybe Rise Esports is going to take this one.
I love that pick, Sue. I would have to agree with that pick, but as you mentioned it earlier, you and I cannot pick the same teams. It just doesn't work that way because we end up cursing it. So I'm going to have to go a little bit different. I don't want to pick any of those bottom teams anymore. I kind of want to, as Sue was saying, I kind of want to let them do their thing. I'm going to go with S2G. I've been enjoying how they've been playing. I feel like they are getting back into that form of Super Weekend 1 where they're wanting to be those aggressive teams when they need to be, where they can just flip that switch. And I want to see what SGG is able to do in this one, all right? Another team that I'm not really picking, but I'm looking forward to seeing how they perform. That didn't perform quite that well in the last match. It's Supermassive Blaze. I mean, they don't have to worry about Ghost Gaming anymore in Picado, especially in this one, so hopefully they should be able to get some much needed points.
I'm glad you brought that up, actually, because for one thing, the team that won our singular Miramar match yesterday actually is Rise. So Zute, he knows something going into this. So Rise could potentially go ahead and do really well once again in Supermassive Blaze. They actually got third. So I wouldn't be surprised if they go ahead and potentially do well in this match as well, because you already said it, Seven. Ghost isn't there to go ahead and bother them, and just from yesterday's matches, it's already proven that they can go ahead and actually turn it into a third place with some kills.
Yeah, I mean, if you're not having to worry about a hot drop, if you're just giving your time to do your actual game, that's the kind of stuff that's going to happen, right? Now, with this one here, what has happened before with Supermassive Blaze is you just take out a little bit too much time to rotate out of Picado. I think they have finally figured that out. But once again, it's because Ghost Game is not here. So hopefully, even though Ghost Game is not here, I hope they're still trying different strats there within Picado, because once we go to finals, if this team does make it to finals, which right now it's not looking like it, then we'll have to worry about that too. So it's going to be an interesting dynamics here today with Miramar, and I am looking forward to seeing what Rice is going to be able to do in Miramar. I'm so glad you picked them too, Sue, because this team has just been improving so much more in Miramar, and I'm loving it, Span.
I'm loving it too, and luckily we get to go watch it right now. Our second match of today on Miramar. Once again, Highland Wolf and Necro.
Our only Miramar match of the day, Necro, and our only Miramar match of the weekend for us, and I'm expecting big things, okay? I have absolutely the highest hopes for all of these teams hitting it down onto the Desert Dunes, because my love for Miramar is not going to be quenched until Wednesday, next week, when we actually get to see the finals. So I need to see what these teams can do, particularly my eyes, of course, on some of these lower teams, not just Except, Blue Chaptan, Supermassive Blaze, all of these teams fighting it out on the lower end of that leaderboard. But you don't have to fight it out for any of those rewards, guys, at home. Because, of course, keep in mind, the first stage of Treasure Box Hunt is live for 3 more days, where you can enter in the in-game center, in-game of PUBG Mobile, and use the PMGC tokens to redeem directly one of 3 rewards, that pan, that parachute, or that beautiful, of course, gold-looking suit. You can also get, of course, those PMGC tokens through by watching live in the in-game's esports center or through social media events. And keep in mind, for next week, where Necro is going to be even more rewards for these players. There's a second stage next week, so keep in mind.
Hey man, it's free, dude. You know, it's free. I'm a person who loves free stuff. I mean, don't get me wrong. If you give me anything for free, I mean, it better be worth it, though. I will take it for free without a doubt. So hey guys, it's for free. You might as well try and claim it. What's going on there, Wolf? Tell me.
Almost as free as Exit on kills. Is that?
Wow. That's
Kappa?
Okay.
No Kappa?
No. No. Why? Why do you gotta do them like that, man? Why? Why do you gotta do them like that? Just leave them alone, okay?
I
Leave them in the bottom.
Okay.
Yeah, with that statement, I know how much you love Exit now.
Oh, I do. I love him. I love him in my loot box.
This is what happened yesterday. Oh, production. Okay, that's a good clip.
That was
I was
true.
wondering actually, how did H2G go down? Because that was quite a crucial knock. But still, in the end, H2G were able to, do pretty good in that game. But yeah, there's still a little bit of mistake from the side of H2G, which is completely fine. We saw the same thing happen to Navi as well in Georgia Pool, and it is one of those. It is like in one of those funny moments or funny montages of PUBG. But yeah, I really wanted to ask you the predictions inside this game. What are you going with? Who are you going?
I didn't think about this one. You caught me off guard. Okay, I'm gonna say Furious Gaming. I've not picked him yet. I'm gonna change it up a little bit. I'm gonna spin it.
Okay.
And I'm gonna say Furious Gaming. I like their position in around Picardo Hills. I bet they've gone there, and yes, they have gone there, moving towards Picardo Hills, as they usually do. And of course, it's going to be a more central position for them. But again, it's zone. I'm telling you, man, it loves the eastern side. We have not seen we've seen one western zone, maybe two in this entire tournament. Otherwise, it's been Los Leones party all day and night, baby.
Yeah, I mean, if you talk about my prediction, who I am going with, I'm going to be going with my boy Zute, man. I'm going with Rise. I feel like Rise has been an unstoppable force inside the Super Weekend 3. They are looking pretty strong. And if they just keep on doing the same way as they're doing, I'm pretty sure they are going to do pretty much the best. I'm pretty sure Rise might just have a high chance of playing or at least coming out on top in Miramar. And we do know what Rise are capable of on the map of Miramar. They play pretty good. But on the other hand, I also do like how Seven put up like a good point, a solid point of now Supermassive Blaze. They don't really have to worry about Ghost Gaming. Because I feel like as long as Ghost Gaming were in those Super Weekends, Supermassive Blaze always had that fear. They were always terrified of Ghost Gaming. And now Ghost Gaming isn't really there. Supermassive Blaze as well might have a high chance of doing something possibly good in this game.
Yeah, this is a big extra bonus, I think, for Supermassive Blaze, right? Where you don't have to worry for 3 games about being dropped in Picardo. Yes, it could be a team that changed it up. I mean, Blue Chaptan, they do have, of course, that slight pincer movement coming in between the more northern and that southern sides of Picardo, but I don't imagine they're going to go in for that fight at all. They're probably just going to look to actually wrap around Madone in towards the rest of that trio coming in towards Los Leones and look towards that gatekeep on the city later on. But I think for Supermassive Blaze, to go back to that point, right, we want to see them have that performance that we saw yesterday, where they can utilize the fact that they're not having to fight early on, they're not risking getting caught out early, and they're actually able to get double the loot that they would normally get, have more space on the map to actually navigate, and they should be consistently, as we say, like yesterday, making it inside of these final 4 places like they had.
Final 5, final 4 places. Looking quite close, man. In the bottom 4 teams, definitely it's looking quite close. Bullock as well didn't really have that good of a game last time, or at least in the previous game of Erangel. So they will definitely need to try and at least step things ahead in the map of Miramar. And they can definitely do so. We do know, under pressure, Bullock is one of those teams they do play pretty well. But still, we can't really make a strong statement, especially knowing of how they started the second day off.
Yeah, I was pretty sure, was it not that Baluk went from that 20th position? They managed to climb their way in that Super Weekend, roughly towards around that 11th, 12th position. Am I wrong there? I'm pretty sure they were able to in that second Super Weekend, if I do count my facts correctly. In Supermassive Blaze, of course, realizing that, yes, there is going to be those players on the outside of Picardo. Baluk trying to maybe catch out Supermassive Blaze early on, maybe try to target them, because, of course, Supermassive Blaze are this very stereotypical Picardo team. But it's not going to work out. They do get away for now, and Sarvian will gatekeep them. So I do expect both of these teams to dissipate from this fight. I would like to see now not only Supermassive Blaze move, but also, as we said, Blue Chatan do what I suggested, go to that Los Leones side, because if you are looted up at this point, now in the 7-8 minute mark, get towards that position. Where is your next point on the map going to be for these kills? Because you need these kills to be able to upsurge against these other opponents that are down on the bottom of that leaderboard with you.
Splash colors in the center of zone. Not really surprised seeing that. Bullock Chipton right next to Supermassive Blaze. And guess what? Could have been a free knock, but still it's quite tough to take, so we can let that one slide. We're able to deal a fair bit of amount of damage though, so that's quite well. Supermassive Blaze, 3 players in the front. It's a 3-1 split coming in forward, and they're spread quite wide. I do want to see how, even if one knock is found, that can definitely be a fight-changing knock without a doubt. But on the other hand, now Bullock Chipton also realizing Fenerbahce right in the front. No, flips his buggy in the last second. Maybe he should try and pop his tires. Maybe you should try and do that, Maidon. You do not really want to let him escape because this is where you have a huge chance of racking up a free kill for your team. And he's trying to spam through the smoke. He's trying to blow the buggy up. But I don't really feel like he's going to be successful in doing so. Nox, he's able to shroud himself inside the smoke, but as soon as the smoke fades away, so his glimmer of hopes will.
You can see that tree, that buggy will protect him. Of course, it did blow up the buggy. It did tickle him down, but he was able to survive. So now it acts as that extra barricade. I think he should be safe. You are looking more towards Falke being an extra support, but Falke almost going down too. That could have been disastrous if Ferdinand was able to find that secondary kill. But Nox Bomb is enough already, and Nox Bomb will slowly bleed out. There is nothing that Fenerbahce should be able to do to find this revive. And as long as Blue Chaptan play it slow, 1 kill going into their pockets. This, of course, keep in mind, as we said, that first phase zone to head back towards it. I'm also looking not just from these teams in Los Leones. I think I've actually moved out of the city in the sense of that is actually safer to avoid the city early on because it is going to be harder to navigate and find teams moving around inside the center of it. You're looking towards the edge of the city for that information of teams entering forwards. But I actually think that also some of these teams from the northern side, that's also going to be the major problem. I'm looking at the likes of Rise, looking at the likes of Eastern Stars, A7. How are they going to approach onto this zone? Because you can see it's not as straightforward, particularly with this second shift, heading away from the teams like A7. They're going to have to find either a big flank, potentially around that south side, which is going to be tricky because of that openness heading into Los Leones, or going straight in onto that firefight above Picado Hill.
Oh man, straight in that firefight. Yeah, that definitely can be a really interesting thing. Fenerbahce, of course, being caught between Bullock, and they were able to successfully get 1 kill, 1 elim on their name. So that's a good start for Bullock Chipton, and they really need that desperately. Each and every single points, they're going to be counting on them, without a doubt. But on the other hand, Eastern Stars as well, another team on the struggling phase. They need to step up. They look pretty strong inside Super Weekend 1, but then later on, they just faded away. Weren't really able to make it in the Super Weekend 2, but in Super Weekend 3, they are here. And they still need to make it in the top 16. And I'm pretty sure Eastern Stars is one of the strongest teams. They can try and do so easily. Coops, though, spotting a player out. And oh no, this is not really likely of Coops. Missing those shots and weren't really able to take out Falke. That's a free kill. Just not able to claim, but oh, I'm going to take back my words here. Coops, good job.
Oh man, you just didn't have to faith fit him, dude, okay? It's just Coops. He just had to take it slow. He was just playing with his food, okay, Necro? He likes to do this. He knows he's so good at the game, but he doesn't have to eliminate them early. He likes to give him just that little glimmer of hope, and then he smacks them down into the dirt. He just makes them eat their words every single time when they think they're out into the edge of safety. Ason as well, talking about safety. Ason, one of the other teams, and I just want to highlight it real quick, because we're not really talked about Alan, but they are also down in that bottom side of the leaderboard, and I think that Alan have not been performing as well as I think we expected coming into this third week. They have had their highs, and when they have their highs, Alan are a great team, and they have big kill games, but they also have their extreme lows, and they're one of the most volatile teams. I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think Blue Chaptan are going to get it, but Alan, no. I think that they need to get these kills, and I think they need to have these high games that we're talking about.
Come on, just peek. Please peek, Ilian. Come on. Come on, I know you have the little itch. You need to peek out, Ilian. Come on. Just peek in.
You want to
see some skulls being popped. Yep,
Is that what you're after?
Listen, he will just be knocked, okay? He will just be knocked. He can be rezzed again, but I just want to see a crispy headshot. I just want to see a scrumptious headshot. Like that would get my mouth watering for sure. Oh, no. I just want to see a crispy headshot, man. That's all I want to see. And it's just always so satisfying, right? As soon as you hear that headshot coming through, you see that red hit marker. And as soon as you see in the kill feed, you just see a man going down. It's just so satisfying, dude. Come on.
Man, you're out for blood today, Necro. I'm scared of you. Man, don't let me get on your bad side, man. I feel like I'm going to be the one that's going to be the crispy headshot against you in my games of PUBG if I get on the wrong side of the bed for me.
Hopefully not, man. I don't think so, really. Honestly, I don't really think so. If I see, as soon as I see your Highland Wolf name, I'll just be like, all right, you know what? We can fight it out in the end. We can actually go for some pan fights.
It's like,
but on the other hand, yeah. Oh, please do not run him over, because we've seen a lot of run overs already throughout this tournament. I do not want to see another one. But yeah, Besiktas as well, another one of those teams that did quite good even inside the previous game. Gotta say, they were able to make it to the second place, just making sure they're keeping themselves quiet, keeping themselves shrouded in those smokes. And in the end, as soon as they did realize, okay, we have got ourselves like second place, they still try to kind of make things happen. But in the end, as long as you're getting those consistent points, that's what really matters if you're in the foot of Besiktas.
Looking at Accent, this could be some revenge coming through. Fenerbahce, they found each other again. Rebellion is going to get the rock, and that's not where you want to go, Rebellion. You have to dodge out the scenery. It'll bite you in dust. This Rebellion will fall down into it. As there he goes. Goodbye, Rebellion. This Doken Machine left on his own now, too. An Exet. Thought about revenge is sweet. I think this is about as sweet as it comes. When Exet taken out by the rest of Fenerbahce, and the MVP of Game 1, looking like he might be the next one to fall.
Certainly does look like he might be the next one to fall, but it seems like you can clearly see the hesitancy coming in from the side of Exit. Do they know he's the only one left in the compound? No, instead they're going for the charge, and I love this. Exit finally seems like they've awakened, and they do use that Molotov perfectly as well. Duke Machine is going to be dropping on top of the flames. He just doesn't have anywhere to go. And well, as you talk about revenge, oh yeah, that's as sweet as he gets, and they are going to be getting the revenge on Fenerbahce. Fenerbahce falling down quite early. Oh, that nade was quite close. It almost bounced off the edge, but luckily it was on the other side of the wall, so they're going to be finding themselves in the lucky bunch. Rise now against Eastern Stars, and I feel like Rise is one of those teams you really do not want to face off against. Eastern Stars, please hold off.
Oh man, Kepala, he was just bad himself and a prime tomorrow Robert Chicken dinners. With that nade, that almost went straight back on into him. It's Mufasa. That one might land though. A nice throw onto the side. Will confirm the kill. There it goes, and now there comes a flank down for Rise, and I think the Eastern Stars, this is a strength for all of their side now. We have 3 members versus a knocked member of Mufasa. They should be able to use this to push quickly, but Apis needs to cover. We need to pincer in slowly on those 2 sides. Where is Apis going to come from, though?
Look at this, man, just burning through so many utilities just to save Mufasa. Do like the importance they're giving Mufasa over here. Each and every single man is really important in any kind of circumstances, and that's what Rise is exactly showing. They do want to get Mufasa back up on his feet, and I'm pretty sure it will happen in no time. Eastern Stars, even though it did find the opening frag, they were just not able to commit to it, but Kapahala seems like he has some sixth sense. That perfect nade lands, another man goes down.
But luckily for them, they barely got Mufasa up in time before that nade landed. So they do make the revive, and he can make that revive back onto Gary again. Mufasa will receive his fallen man, but there's time limited now. Is that second not cost him, as you said, so many resources, so much time itself, and Eastern Stars, they're only closing in more.
Yup, Gary also still knocked out the game. Gary needs to stay alive. We saw him pull off some insane clutches in the past. Mythic proning out in the open. Eastern Stars have completely surrounded Rise, but guess what? The reply comes through. Mufasa finds 2. Guess instead, Rise they're able to find 2 in general. 2 men fall down from Eastern Star. 3rd might just fall down pretty quickly. 8th is down low. That nade's quite close, but still, I feel like there's nothing he can do. And Rise, this is what I was exactly saying. You do not want to go against a force like Rise this early off in the game, because Rise are just going to put you in the dirt and make sure that you're biting that dust. On the other hand, now Furious Gaming against A7. They do realize, okay, they're challenging the big mammoths, maybe falling back this time, taking things a little chill will be probably the best thing they can do. But A7 looking to third party this situation.
Yeah, A7 though, they are on that northern side. They have made that big wraparound, as we said, to avoid out on that big entrance on in versus all of those fighting and those teams. Taking some respite for A7, it has got further to, and will continue there to head through onto the next Roya, being in the center of this zone. And Necro, I'm wondering now, can next Roya confirm? Can they be able to defend around this La Bendita hill? Because they don't have the high ground. They have a compound, yes, in the center, and they could be the most likely to survive. But how do they fight off these teams? And I think that's going to be their problem. teams coming in left, right, north, south, and loots. Going to be the first footballers to enter on in as the second onto Soulkey falls down.
Oh, over-aggression being punished. Classic footballers sometimes. And now Love is in the clotheslines. He has a lot of burden on his shoulder. He needs to do the heavy lifting over here. I'm pretty sure should be falling down in no time. Love is trying to patch himself back up. Big Milo as well, down quite low. Footballers for now, they're out of harm's way, but still not for long though, because they don't really have the man advantage to work with. And Furious Gaming are looking to exactly work on that. They're trying to feed off a footballer's fear. Romno still comes out in that fight. That's a huge fight win. And that's going to be giving a huge sigh of relief for footballers. But guess what? From the back, it's A7 joining third party. Carrillo taking down Love is it, and now it's just that one last man left, Rom, and he will be taken down, and he will be made sure that he's biting the dust. And Football is taking out the game quite early.
Yeah, Footballers as well, challenging that same position as Rise. I actually expected that Rise using the Stars fight, A7 were going to third party. We had a lot of patience. Finally, their patience is rewarded. They are able to confirm at least one confirmed kill point out of that overall fight. As Furious Gaming, they also now continue to defend those Supermassive Blades as quick as they come. Will be the next to enter on in, and they have to take this fight. They can't head back onto Rise, but it's no problem for them as Big Milo assassinates Tron over the side of the road. He's not even going to cross, and Crucera will shortly almost be next, but the blue zone should be the dirty work to finish him off, as he is on the edge of it. And I think that here for Supermassive Blaze, yes, Crucera is alive, but it's coming down. Can he keep that survival up prime? Because that's on. Nice is still fighting on the south end as Nice Xenox will fall. And a smoke utilized defensively is Nice. They have to fall back, but into the edge of the blue zone. And phase 5 is shifted up more, I believe, yes, towards that northern side, northeast. And what a disastrous shift it is for all of these teams.
Yep, shifting out in the open. There's no high ground to work with, not a lot of dips to work with as well. Pretty much next to no, if you'd like to say, cover available in that zone. But on the other hand, now Nacer's just bombarding through on the Knights, and they're also getting charged on by Aton, and nothing much can be done. Knights, of course, they're one of the best teams out here, but still somehow they're not really able to stop this. But guess what? No, it's Xenox. It's the Xenox power comes through and easily able to wipe them off. Koops and Xenox, the duo strikes again.
He just takes them all down, obliterates them with Koops, as you said, the dream duo out of Knights. And look at the opposite end, S2G, Balut Chaptan, they're in tatters. And Mad Bulls are the only one really to defend them. I think Knights, they play this a little bit more aggressive. They almost take down the Yin Yang Monkey over the top side. They're trying to assassinate away Xenox, of course, with the zone. It will tickle him down a health bar a little bit. But Xenox, he finally gets caught. He goes a little bit too weak. It does not check his flank. And the Monkey still confirms the kill away. Mad Bull's now on the run, though. It's blue zone directly behind them all.
Okay, kill switch. What's going on? That was a free kill. They're gonna try to get it. Just the hesitancy, man. Exit
in the blue.
He just seems so scared, and finally he does find that man out in the open. He's also taking quite a lot of damage. I feel like at this point in time, even Exit has given up. They do know it's just it's done. There's no hopes left. Even they've given up. If he wanted, he could have went for those 2 kills. But yeah, he's still in the game though. That's a huge thing. But on the other hand, A7. It seems like they're looking to take this compound, but instead, Bashitas are able to reply fire to fire, making sure A7 are kept in that social distance.
Oh no, I jinxed it. He's not in the game anymore, but here comes S2G to go to Murado in style.
Oh no, it's a delicate baby.
Style. It doesn't win your games. It's S2G, they step up for the kills, but Rise at a third party. And they just take them out as well. And now, just like that, down to our 7 final teams, as A7 might be the next, though, to be summoned back into the third game. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy from Besiktas as they squeeze out a life with a third player, Revo. A nade might be on target there. Will miss for now.
I called him Murado the delicate darling, and that's the exact reason. It just cannot really take a lot of bullets. It will blow up instantly if you're being caught out in the open. It does have the speed though, but still it's quite delicate. On the other hand, A7, oh, that's a huge knock. Didn't really realize his toes were kind of exposed out to smoke. And Enjoy 7 getting that exact info, able to work on it. Gets that man down, and now Mafioso, the only man left alive to try and hold this edge off. It's a dream work for his team. And he can definitely make that happen if he had a little bit of teamwork in it, but he just doesn't have any team players left alive to do so. So now Mafioso left all by himself, Rise right behind them. Maybe the brothers will help each other out. What do you think so?
I think that now for all of those teams, right, more on that north, that western side, it's kind of going to be out of out of their hands now, inside of his shift. Base 6, it has gone over. And there goes A7. Will be the next drop down to our final 4. And really, this is Besiktas' game here, Necro. There's no one really that can stop them. They've got a compound, they've got the zone towards them, the road. Gonna protect
Oh my
them,
God, Lin! I want to see
Yeah,
that, please. I want to see that in replay.
Oh,
That seemed like a good one, Jake.
They're going in, though. If they want to fight, they see the knock. And, of course, Lin, they have lost one. So it wasn't Lin on the fight, but Unicorns of Love, they're down to 3 regardless. So it's going to make it even more difficult. Evens up the fight with the help of Rise in the back end.
Oh, Unicorns of Love, as you mentioned, they're going in for the cover. Mostly, I feel like they do not really want to challenge the fight. Instead, just get their hands on a little bit portion of this cover because they do know how important it is. And if you do get even a little bit of piece of it, that can mean quite a lot. And Unicorns of Love, they're able to get their mark on it. But still, taking things a little slow and cautiously. Besiktas, they have a lot of buildings to work around still. Do like that 2-2 split from the side of Besiktas. 2 players watching the back, 2 players watching the front. Making sure Unicorns of Love aren't really able to overextend and get a little bit more territory from them. Rise now, spotting out next Ria. That's a huge knock onto Kador. And Mythic is the man who's able to take him out. But Lin, again, continues to open skulls up. He continues to crack those skulls open. And he's able to take another man down from next Ria as Lin. He does realize he does see a player cross right in the open, but from the other's hand, it seems like Besiktas, they're finally done holding off, and instead now it's time to inflict pain on the enemies.
We're finally waking up here inside of the third Super Weekend. And they found 2. Zess is looking for his 1v3 moment. He'll find it with a nade, and he completely destroys the rest of Rise. Can he find a 1v4 though? Onto Nunes. There's only 1 remaining as Gary will be the third. A nade over the top side, almost hit his Zessi, but it should be just a hill enough to protect him. Nunes steps back in the vehicle. He does have mobility, but he has no members. So as we said, the 1v3 coming through from Zessi, they got destroyed coming over the rest of the hill.
Oh man, as we mentioned, they just got completely destroyed coming over this hill. Nunes in the front, the only man left alive. I feel like hoping a lot of things from this man wouldn't really work out because there's no way he's going to be able to withstand the push coming in from the side of Besiktas. But still, we do have next Ria all the way across the board, trying to help him out a little bit, just trying to pepper down a couple of shots on the Besiktas. Are able to do a decent bit of damage. Sun HP goes down. Unicorns of Love might just try and charge in forward, but still, they are a little hesitant. And now, finally, next Ria able to put down the final man, and they're able to free Rise off of their misery.
Yeah, Unicorns of Love, though. I like it. They're playing it slow. They're playing it patient. They know. They have the cover, as you said. They have the piece of the protection. Now what we need to do to survive. Besiktas occupied, of course, with Rise. Allowed Unicorns of Love to enter on here, but Besiktas now is giving up that position inside of the zone. They need to fight for it back. The next Warrior, also so desperate to get inside of this next phase. But I think only a full send it pushes away that next Warrior can really go, and yes, they will. Here comes the vehicle, here comes the car, and off they go.
Oh no, I don't like this. I don't like this. I don't like this. Rokas is watching this, and he can just pepper down a lot of shots, and that's what exactly happens. Frozen, though, he's gonna be unstoppable. He just doesn't care. And his car is quite quick as well, helping him out in making that quick rotation, blows the vehicle up, as to work as a solid cover for him. And Frozen does realize he's getting pushed on from both these sides, and Unicorns of Love trying their best to hold this off. GK Force, the only man left alive now. And he has a lot of burden on his shoulders. He needs to do some heavy lifting. Besiktas from the back are charging in forward. And I feel like this is Besiktas' game. GK Force is quite low. And Besiktas, they're not going to stop. That nade to close out the things. Beautifully played from Besiktas.
Yeah, Besiktas, it is completely third-partied over Unicorns of Love and Next Warrior. Next Warrior, they had to go for that push. It was the only way that they could possibly win that game, though, Necro. There was no doubt about it. They had to go for the full send it move. Unfortunately, it didn't work out. It was a Hail Mary attempt. And then Unicorns of Love, though, we got baited in onto the fight, and that was the problem, though. Then Besiktas, they had, of course, Rise taking out on the opposite end to Zessi's work. And all they had to do was just wait, and then stole away that chicken dinner from them all. But a big game coming in, of course, onto Besiktas regardless. And this is going to send Besiktas, I think, with this game, these types of points, into that comfortable spot where we don't have to worry nearly as much now about being eliminated.
Man, Besiktas, yeah, as you mentioned, they are definitely going to be getting that comfort kind of level up. They're definitely going to be getting themselves that safety cushion, as we like to call it. And going inside the future games, Besiktas can also join those top teams who can try and screw things around. He can try and play the spoil sport, but still, they need to keep things in mind is that they will still need to rack up a few points going and forward. They cannot just let it go. They cannot just relax, you know. They still need to perform a little bit. They still need to get like at least 5 or 6 points per game. That would at least help them to keep that position they have gone.
Yeah, I think that now you're looking towards, right, Besiktas. Yes, they're fine. I'm looking also towards, so I think some of these other teams, yes, we have gained a big rise of these top contenders, like Rise, like Unicorns of Love, like Next Roya. What happened, though, to those other teams? What happened to the likes of Blue Chatan? What happened to the likes of Supermassive Blaze? Where is Exet, right? Still not there. What is going on? Even Mad Bulls, Eastern Stars, none of these
Mad Bulls,
teams,
yeah, definitely.
As we said, Zute, I think, described it perfectly, is a crawl of these squads in the bottom positions, game after game in this Super Weekend. They are not getting the points, and it's this pressure at the final Super Weekend that is completely crumbling every single one of these 5 teams. But if they can just overcome that pressure, they have such an opportunity because, as we said, all 5 of them are struggling. It only takes one to just have that big day to get out of the road of the rest.
Oh man, definitely big day. And as you mentioned, Mad Bulls as well. All the teams that are kind of in the bottom, they're struggling to get their foot in the top 16. They seem absent in these 2 first games. Maybe the upcoming games is where they will realize and at least try to step up. Exit, as we mentioned, and at this point in time, everyone has given up an exit, including the analyst desk. So yeah, exit, we can count them. Yep, it's time to go home. It's time to go for those clips, as the Seven said. You know, it's time to go for those Twitter clips, man. Just go for some insane play.
Yes, I think the exit now, maybe we don't make it in, but we can certainly upset, I think, as we said, some of these other teams. I mean, Aton as well, another one of those squads that are so desperate for those points. Where are exit going to drop? Are they just going to say, well, we can't win, but we can certainly take you out with us, because there are still another 2 spots where people can be eliminated beside just ourselves. So it is now down to exit. What do they do with their time? Because I think they've lost the opportunity. We said after the first game, right?
Oh
maybe...
my god.
Oh yeah, the shots were beautiful here, by the way.
Oh man, Lin, dude, Lin. He is a marksman for sure.
But Zessi, the 1v3.
Yeah, this was an insane clutch as well from side of Zessi, right? He did realize Rise doesn't really have a lot of space to move around, and that's what he exactly capitalized on. And that nade was just beautiful. As soon as he connected that nade, Zessi realized it's a done game, and then Rise in the end was just put out of misery by Nextria. And this final push from GK First was able to kind of take the entire squad of Nextria down, but then Besiktas just beautifully charged in, and they had the timing down.
Yeah, I didn't even realize that actually it was Besiktas on the rooftops. It was the reason why Unicorns of Love got so easily third-partied. But beautiful stuff coming out of Besiktas. They take the win, but not as beautiful as our analyst and our host, of course, over on the analyst desk itself.
Besiktas, I mean, we were kind of waiting for them to go on ahead and pull out another win. They were able to do so, improve over the course of this event, we have to say. So it looks like they're able to grab this chicken dinner, taking over the people that we kind of guessed it to be. They played that pretty perfectly, being able to third party that Zute.
Besiktas, they had the position, but not just that, they had the control of the position. They managed 2 different fronts, and they're being pushed from 2 different ends. Looking down from Besiktas, Unicorns of Love and Rise, both with 19 points. Those are some huge point games, even though they didn't get that chicken. And coming into the second half of the page, well, now we'll see why they got so many points, because these teams on the second half, we have 3 donuts, right? 3 teams with 0 points and a couple teams with 2. Yeah, not so good on the second half, but the Knights still getting the points in through the form of elims. Like I believe Seven mentioned, he's been loving how the Knights have been really focusing on their elims going into the finals.
Oh wow, and it even looks like Fierce Gaming is actually going to be able to pick up the MVP player for this one's Big Milo here with the 2 eliminations, 703 damage, 34% contribution. A bit surprised to see him up here. I would have thought it was a Rise member because they did so much damage this match. You saw that they got 11 kills, but Big Milo still able to grab that MVP. I mean 7. Taking a look at this overall rankings once again, there's barely any movement. There's some at the top once again, but even with Besikta's big win, they didn't move anywhere. The only thing that really moved down below is that Black Dragons dropped down again.
Yeah, I mean, you saw Big Miles' performance being able to help out Furious Gaming. As you mentioned, they did pass Black Dragons. And now Black Dragons, I think, depending on what can happen in this next 2 matches, I'm not even going to talk about the last match of the day, they can either be biting the nails or just going to the spa and relaxing, because some of these teams, I'm just gonna say it, some of these teams are absolutely throwing. They're just not performing to the way that we expected them to. I do have to give a shout out though, because Blue Chapter has been able to slowly but surely collect some points here and there. Out of all of them, that's the team that's currently looking to make it to the actual finals and possibly catch up to Black Dragons. Going back to Rise Esports, I mean, I know some of you guys had them to win. They still had an amazing performance. You mentioned it, Span. You said 11 illness for Rise Esports, the aggressiveness that we saw out of them. Something that I actually enjoyed out of the chicken dinners, out of the chicken dinner winners, Besiktas, is the aggressiveness. Sute, you even mentioned it, for them to be able to control that area, that was so impressive. They didn't just decide to hold back on the compound. They just went for it. They were like, yo, you back off. You don't want to come near us.
Yeah, they had a mixed defense with offense in order to control that area so well. If they were full defense, the teams would have eventually pressured in and they'd be pushed on 2 fronts, but they met that with aggression as well. So they pushed the teams away and picked up a bunch of elims that match as well, Span.
Oh wow, well, taking a look at this next one, it looks like up next we have Erangel once again, so it'll be interesting to see who's going to be able to grab the top spots from there. And as a reminder, you guys can go on ahead and grab yourself some treasure yourselves, actually, because it is the first stage of the treasure box hunt. It already started. It goes to December 21st, and you can go on ahead and get these tokens by watching live on YouTube in the in-game esports center or participating through social media events. Get them, redeem them, get this sweet loot as you can see here up on the screen. Again, personal favorite is the pan. And then you can stay tuned and get ready for the next stage of the treasure box hunt. There's even more. It starts next week on December 22nd, goes to January 13th. So please stay tuned. There's a lot more surprises, as you guys can see once again. But now we're officially 2 games down. We already said we're going into our next Erangel. Then after that is, I think, all of our favorites, which is going to be Sanhok. Then on to Erangel once again. I have a question for you guys once more, though. Once again, in the chat, drop your answer, but which team had the largest overperformance? We already answered the underperformance, kind of a battle between XSET and Team Queso. Now, who has had the largest overperformance? A little bit of a different thing. But that's it for now. We're going to go on ahead and be jumping right on into a break, because up next, we already said it, is Erangel. So see you guys shortly. Don't go anywhere.
Dismantle like that, Na'Vi. Oh, that nade was quite close, but Matic still able to get there. Oh my god.
Some type of consistent points. Tron! 16, but Tron, talk about a team looking for...
Last man left. He has this little week of the work in as cover. So as soon as he gives his position away, that's when things would be done for him. He finds the knock, and he might just be able to clutch this. Now it's a one-on-one situation. If Milo's is able to connect this nade, that's going to be absolutely huge. Nade's being traded from both these sides and gets the Enjoy 7. He clutches it once. Besiktas, they somehow pull it off.
Going fishing, and Rambo's still in the water. Somehow they still don't see him. He pops out, and he gets the finish. Goes back into the water. Are you kidding me? Watching. He's gonna be looking this direction. That nade though does press him out. Football is maybe able to take him down, and he gets the kill. Picks up 2 kills.
Trying his best to hold on to the position, but yeah, as you mentioned, Besiktas definitely do have a great positioning, and possibly even they can try and win this one. But Football is now, oh, this is not good. Rambo easily able to take care of 2.
Still waiting as Nice desperately hold on. in 5th position. A solo also for A7. Revo, he'll find another knock.
You know, any team like that, I think the goal is to obviously qualify for the last Super Weekend and just get some type of consistent points. Tron! But Tron, talk about a team looking for...
Oh no, Analysts, they're not gonna be feeling good. Just watching just A7 getting dismantled like that, Navi. Oh, that nade was quite close, but Matic still able to get there. Oh my god, what was that? That's a heroic entry from the side of Matic.
Like you mentioned, the blue zone going to be applying pressure. Alucard making that U-turn, popping out with the DP, but immediately taken down.
Immediately, Matic! Let's go, baby! Whips punches out the full dashes with the quick snipe and finishes Ghost! Matic's insane! He's on fire!
Welcome back to PMGC West League. We are about to be going to our very third match. It's at the halfway point of the Super Weekend. And Zeus, 7, you guys both have already talked about how today, if they don't go on ahead and perform well today, tomorrow, I mean, the chances of going on ahead, getting into the top 16 is not looking too good.
Yeah, it's not only just not looking too good points-wise, it's also, you got to think about some of these teams, not even the teams near the bottom, but some of these teams at the top, they kind of get to pick and choose which teams they might want to target and keep from going into the finals themselves because, you know, maybe the first rotation, these teams don't really bother the top teams, but maybe, you know, after some more VOD review, some of the top teams realizes, hey, this one team in particular on Erangel always kind of causes us to change our rotation a little bit come Circle 3 or something of that nature. And then going into the very last day, if that team is still towards the bottom, they could be like, hey, today will be the day where we just focus this team and just keep them out of the top 16. So that could happen as well.
Even more so on the map of Erangel as well, since there's 3 maps for Erangel, so it's triple the times. If any of that stuff is going to happen, most likely going to be happening on the side of Erangel. Taking a look at these rescues as well, looks like Nunez with a bunch of reses as well. Coming up next will be Erangel, so let's see who else is going to be able to kind of pick some up in those situations. On the side of Erangel as well, I have to say that there was interesting placement coming in for their first match. Alpha 7 being able to grab the first one. Kind of curious to see who's going to be grabbing this second one, because even the first time on Erangel is a pretty close one. So who do you think is going to go ahead and grab this one, Zute?
Ooh, is it time for predictions already? Let me think. I would have to say, I don't know. It gets pretty close. A lot of these teams near the top end, they keep showing up towards the end, right? Like it could be any of the top 5 teams. For me, I would have to go with, I think, Unicorns of Love. They've had 2 really good games back to back. They're not a team that we often really pick. And I think they deserve some credit now since, you know, they always play so well, but they just don't really get that chicken dinner at the end. So hopefully this one goes over to them.
Okay, 7. Who do you think's going to take this?
I'm going with my pick from Miramar. I'm going to go with S2G. I believe this team is getting into that groove. They've been performing really, really well, actually, as well in Erangel. So S2G is going to be my pick.
I'm going to actually choose the Knights. So it looks like all 3 of us are kind of choosing teams up towards the top. I mean, these teams have been kind of bouncing around this entire time. So I think Knights is kind of due for one. Unicorns of Love also have been performing quite well. So let's see who's going to be taking this next one, because we're about to be jumping right on into it once again on Erangel for our 3rd match of today. This time we're going to be sending it on over to Hot Jukes and Mustache Dave. And I cannot wait to see what's going to be happening inside of this one, because again, a lot of interesting stuff's happening. It's getting closer to the end where they have to go ahead and grab these points.
That is absolutely right, Span Cargo. What's going on, everybody? I'm Hot Jukes here with the legend Mustache Dave. Hopping in here into match number 3. Dave, today, tomorrow, and that's it, baby. It's all over. What are you thinking coming into this match?
Hey everybody, how's it going? Shout out to the chat as well. I've been watching throughout the entirety of the event, cheering on your favorite team. So what I'm thinking here, we got what? We got 5 games tomorrow, 3 games. That's 8 more games. And that's it. After 8 more games, we will have the top 16 teams that will be playing in those finals. And the finals, a ton of money on the line. Not only that, but the chance to make it to that next round. So, man, the pressure, it is boiling. It is building up here. I can hear the kettle right now just whistling on away. And for some teams, Hot Jukes, that kettle has been whistling for some time. I'm talking about SMB. I'm talking about Eastern Stars, Buluk, and then, of course, Xset, all the way at the bottom here today.
Wow. I mean, for the record, Dave, what does that whistle sound like?
Oh, it's loud. You know. When you hear it, you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about.
Hey, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it here. And speaking of talk about it, looks like Seven's pick is going to be good starting off this match. Looks like, I believe I saw S2G with the first knock. It's a great start for them. But, you know, there's a lot of teams here, if we're being really honest, they've already punched their ticket. They know where they're going. And yeah, look at this right here. It looks like Aton, Cardi. I believe Aton, where are they at on
14th,
the rankings?
174.
14th. So that's not the start that they want. Oh, speaking of people who need a start, Polo punching out Noxbob from Fenerbahce. I don't know, Dave. I don't know if you want to kind of start BM if you're Xset. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I definitely agree with that here. Fenerbahce, 7th place on the overall. So a lot of times, you know, these players, they do take offense to getting punched out like that. And with Fenerbahce, 7th place overall, and we're talking about Xset with 26 total points, I would not want to team up there at the top, putting me on your hit list here moving forward. So let's see, though, Duke and Machine on the retreat, on the run here. And the quick pull-up from Jade. Kill switch, able to get another kill point, and I gotta say though, the punch out.
More punches out.
It does demonstrate confidence though. So when we're talking about Xset and we're talking about confidence, that's kind of what you want to see. But I agree with you 100%, Jukes. Like, it's now the time to be making these enemies at the top of the overall leaderboard.
Let's go into a quick little replay of that first knock. Man, dude. Oh, Iron Sight M16 from that range. Oh! Polo got him with the pistol. Maybe that's why he got the punch out. And he had a shotgun on his back. Okay, Polo. You know, I think that is a confident play, Dave. And, you know, just a few days ago, we introduced the Mustache Dave Momentum Meter. TM copyright, right?
Yeah.
What does confidence have to play when it comes into the Momentum Meter?
Yeah, so confidence and momentum, 2 separate things, of course, Jukes.
Okay.
Great question that you posed there. Momentum for me is maybe an early game squad wipe, maybe a 1v4, maybe a chicken dinner with 15 kill points, elim points, right? 30 points for one game. That is going to get that momentum going, those juices flowing, and all cylinders just pumping away. Okay, thanks for a replay.
That's
so momentum's different. So momentum, you want to take it from one game to the next game. You just want to keep it going type of deal. You're feeling good. The team's all happy. The vibe, it's just right. Now, confidence is something else, right? Like confidence, I feel like you kind of got to have, right? You got to have it. And right there, those early punch outs, the early pistol play, that to me, they got it. And everybody knows Xset have confidence. It's just, I feel like they've been looking at the overall leaderboard here, at least the last 2 weeks, and that confidence has kind of been getting swept underneath the rug. So I think if they could just take the overall leaderboard and forget about it, don't even look at it, and I'm being serious, Hot Jukes. If Xset can just avoid looking at the leaderboard and rely on their gun skills, their mechanics, their synergy, and their confidence, just play every single game like it's just another game. It's another day at the office. And we might see them be able to change up some things here when I'm talking about the overall leaderboard, when I'm talking about points, and when I talk about those confident team fights. We all know Exa have it. We know. They made it here. Shoot, they made it here. This is the cream of the crop, Juke. So I think for Exa, I think for Buluk and Eastern Stars, just don't even look at the leaderboards. Just come into these matches, 8 more to go, and just play your best. That's confidence.
I mean, so having said all of that, Dave, what's Polo's confidence at?
Like I said, if they don't look at the leaderboard, I think confidence is high, right? They're feeling good. They made it here. PMGC West League, West Side, Best Side. But when you look at the overall leaderboard, then that confidence just isn't going to be there.
Yeah, I mean, we just saw Polo, right? Like Polo with the punch out, confidence had to go up, but then he just gets taken out immediately after Dave. So now Xset
down. That's how confidence works. Goes up, goes down. It's all over the place. You want to find that perfect level, and then when you find that perfect level, you just run with it, right? You run with it. So if this is a little confusing, the confidence versus momentum whole discussion, feel free, slide into the DMs. I can explain it to you a lot better later on as well. I've kind of been writing a personal book about the two topics, actually, Hot Juke. So thanks for bringing that up. Got some content coming out too surrounding that as a professional PUBG Mobile caster. So hey, all day, right? I'm writing the book. You and I, we wrote the book Papa Blue. We wrote the book of how to win, but I'm writing the book on momentum and confidence. So stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. Stay tuned.
Wow. An addendum chapter. You'll love to hear that. At Mustache Dave, ladies and gentlemen. That's the place to go for that kind of information that we love to hear. Now, speaking of information, let's just do a quick little recap for people that are possibly just tuning in now. Top 16 move on to the finals. Finals is where the big cheddar is made, the big bucks, and I mean big bucks. Over $300,000 just for first place by itself. Over $250,000. Are you kidding me? Right now, top 16 is the goal. We have just this game, 2 more today after this. Oh, hold on real quick. Papi Potro. Getting some shots on a Fresh. Fresh, it looks like he is going to be able to make it out of there alive. Ooh, barely. He actually got hit in the head, too. You can see that helmet pretty well damaged. He's going to run for his life and make it to safety. So, 3 matches here today left, including this one. And then tomorrow, 5 more matches, and it's done. Top 16 from there, move on. When it comes to Xset, right? Xset is the squad that's only played this one super weekend. They only have 26 points. 16th place, Supermassive Blaze with 147 points. So, 120 points is what Xset needs to make above whatever Supermassive Blaze makes here today if they want to stand a chance.
Easy. Honestly. Just look at what Besiktas did. Look at what Besiktas did last week and just copy them. Honestly, just copy them and just do it. You got.
I mean, honestly, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
I mean, and Besiktas are slaying it here today as well. Like Besiktas, this is a team. I'm telling you, I'm going to tell you right now. Finals top 5. I'm putting Besiktas top 5 for the finals.
Not mad at that pick at all. I honestly am not. It's crazy, their performance. If you really look at the numbers, because, you see Alpha 7 on top with 37 battles, right? 379 points. Crazy. Oh, look at that nice little spray we saw there from the legend Garrix.
Garrix.
Still
Garrix.
will always be Gary in my heart,
Same.
But the man's name is Garrix. Now, see Nunez putting some shots on the loots. Starting to see some vehicle rotations pop on out. So, 120 points in 8 games, Dave.
Yeah.
Woo! That is that's a tall, and that's if Supermassive Blade gets 0 points for the rest of the tournament. So
honestly, you want my real take? If I'm Nexa, I'm just gonna drop SMB every game. You might as well drop them every game. That's who you're hunting down. And if you win that fight, you already overtake them, and then you'll be on your way, right? Just get some play some points after that. Oh man, so that's just my hot take. You kind of agreed with that a little bit there, so I respect that. But real quick, Rise, another team.
I think you have to at this point. You have to pull out any strategy to make it. I mean, there's just so much money. I mean, literally a life-changing amount of money if you're able to make it into the finals. You know, you have potential of getting. So
Isn't the finals
you should be doing
1.5 mil? First place?
what?
Right? Am I wrong?
What was that?
The finals. Not the league finals, but the finals
That's right.
finals. The
An
finals
insane,
finals.
an
1.5,
insane amount
second
of
place is 600K, third place 300K. Like that's the finals. That's the end. That's after everything's said and done. But
Oh
the
my
finals
gosh.
for this 360. So there's just so much money on the line that I agree with you, Hot Jukes, that when we're thinking about X at the bottom, I'm forgetting about the points. I don't even care about the points. I'm thinking about the money that I'm playing for, and I'm going to do everything I have to do, no matter how dirty it might seem from the outside.
That's true.
If I'm hot dropping SMB, if I have some friends outside the game and they don't think I'm going to drop them inside the game, forget about it. We are no longer friends because I am in this game looking to get that money. So that's my plan. If I'm exit, honestly.
Like the old saying goes, all is fair in love and war. And I'll tell you what, this is a war. And you can see a war breaking out right now with Furious Gaming doing some nice little gatekeeping onto Unicorns of Love. This is outside of the zone. Circle is going to be heading on over to farm. Papi Potros full sending it on in. Pre-fired. The top of the stairs. Looking to get a nade in onto GK first. Can he catch him? Bounce? Oh, that was close. Nice angle.
This battle has been happening for a good amount of time as well. So Furious Gaming, yeah, they already spent so much time trying to take out Unicorns of Love. They might as well try to get the 4 elim points and then reposition just a little south of Pachinki. But over here, Rise have just been driving around the map, Hot Jukes, getting runovers and getting into fight after fight here early game.
You said that you're going to see Besiktas in top 5. I think I'm going to see Rise in top 5 as well. I mean, this squad is just one that we see have gotten better and better and better as this tournament has gone on. Alpha 7 have always been where they've been at, S2G, you know, squads like that. But Rise, I mean, they are currently in 4th place with 359 points. Honestly, they could make a run for first, which is crazy. I mean, it's not crazy. They've been performing really well. At the same time, though, for me, just looking at all the superstar names that we have, Rise have just definitely been a force to be reckoned with.
Rise versus Besiktas. I would love to see that 4v4. Honestly, I don't know. That would be a good fight. Because Rise, they've made it to every super weekend, kind of like what you were talking about earlier on. And Besiktas, they only made it to 2 super weekends. And for them to miss one and still be in that mid-pack putting up solid numbers, that's why I have them in my top 5 when I'm talking finals. Because once we get to finals, everybody starts at 0 on the overall leaderboard once again. So it's a clean slate. And Besiktas, you were asking me earlier on about the momentum. They have momentum. They've had momentum since last weekend.
It's just crazy to watch. It's crazy. I just keep crunching the numbers myself, and I'm just looking at it, and I'm honestly just in awe at what they've done. Let's see if they can go ahead and, you know, prove us right on what they are capable of in this match. Taking a look over at Football List. I mean, just to kind of go over some stats. I want to be stats juice for a second. I'm going to take away your role there, Dave.
That's cool.
You know?
I mean, that's cool. Go for it.
You know, I've been taking a little bit out of the stats Dave page book here. And Besiktas, right? They have 143 placement points in Super Weekends alone, right? That's only 40 less than Alpha 7 in first place. 40 less placement points. And they have played, 15 less matches?
Yep.
Than Alpha 7? That's insane.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. People always ask me to make these picks. I just look at the numbers just like you did, and it just stands out. It stands out big time. So I am pumped up for these finals. And really, the main storylines that we're following now, who else is going to make it to the finals? And we're looking at, I would say 13th. Black Dragons, 186. Aton, 14th, 174. Mad Bulls, SMB. I'm looking at that threshold, the Black Dragons on down, right? Like, those are the teams that can really disrupt the lobby here, because Black Dragons, they're not playing here, right? So they're just on the sidelines, just watching their lead just dissipate. I don't know if they're going to qualify, honestly.
It's honestly something to think about, because they are only 39 points from 16th.
8 more games.
They're still Yeah, 8 more games. That's definitely attainable. I mean, think about it. One good game, a 15 kill chicken dinner. That's 30 points by itself. And
They might
honestly,
not make it. They might not make
any
it.
squad here can perform and do that. Xset with 120 points. If we're gonna start going to hypotheticals, because I think that's what we have to do. And I think if you are a player in this, that's all you're doing, right? Is getting into these. What's the possibilities? What do we have to do? If Supermassive Blaze gets nothing but goose eggs for the rest of this entire thing, which isn't going to happen, right? Xset needs 15, and I'm 15 points every single game. That's already a tall order in itself, right? And you have to be able to beat whatever Supermassive Blaze or any of these teams in the 16th place are going to be going for. Quick little, nice little battle here between S2G and the Knights. Let's cover this really quickly. Timber. Pre-firing with the DP, that's not the CQC weapon you want. Just a little too slow at fire rate. And he's going to go down. The rest of the Knights are going to be trying to put some work in together. Oh, a nice little vehicle run over we see in the kill feed. We're still watching this fight go on down. Coops and Chico holding down the building together. Oh, Alpha 7 are coming in for the third party. Mafioso up on top. Trying to get some angles. That's going to take away Alucard from that really dominant position. Look how Alpha 7 is doing this split. Just so much coverage of this area.
Yeah, beautiful split coming out from there. Mafioso on the high ground, I love that position. Meanwhile, the other 3 squad mates of A7 trying to get alternate angles to get through his windows. We see Senatexa and Carrillo up in the front lines trying to hit these grenades. Now, Dave cannot push over that hill, Hot Jukes, because you got Rise down in the south who do have sightlines. We saw Senatexa pop over this ridge, receive some gunfire, and then quickly pop back down. So keep that in mind. But A7 with this third-party position, I am loving this.
Beautifully done. And at this point, this is just Alpha 7 practicing and getting ready for the finals, and possibly also keeping that first place title, because then S2G, they're right here, they're in second place. So I wonder if Alpha 7 heard these kills from S2G happening and they want to take them out early so they can maintain that first place title that they can put inside of their Twitter bio here. And that is very, very important. Here comes the Knights, continuing trying to hold it down.
In the building.
He said, hello, anybody home? How about a Molly?
Nice Molly. Nice Molly. So many smokes out here. It's going to really come down to what you can hear.
Oh, no, he's not.
He's in the corner. Yeah, he's in the corner. But Coops still up. Coops versus Carrillo. To me, that's a fight I would book some tickets to.
Oh, that's a beautiful nade. Carrillo got beat up right there. Chico with the cheeky nade. Those smokes really kind of help out use those sight lines. Here comes another one, and Carrillo eats it. 2-7 from S2G. Senatexa trying to hold it down. Oh, Senatexa's in trouble. That utility's too good. He has to run away. You can see 7 trying to be able to catch those toes.
Oh, that Rise. Look at that Rise.
Oh
the
my gosh.
That's what I was talking about, that angle.
Alpha 7 in trouble now.
S2G, they've been doing a good job at kind of playing this one smart, all things considered here, Hot Jukes.
They've been just surviving, just making it play really well. They're using the blue zone to their advantage. Now they have to force each other into this fight. Revo there with the laydown is going to be able to almost get the full elim, but Coops still up on top. S2G, it's a battle between 3 squads inside of this house, and these guys are just going at it like crazy. And as a matter of fact, it looks like Coops may be able to get this revive off.
Going for the pickup. Oh, look at the blue zone right there on the edge, and Carrillo can't even pop through the blue zone.
Oh, he got him!
Got him while they're healing.
Hello.
4 elim points for the Knights. Now, let's see. Can they finish, though? Can they seal the deal against S2G?
Man, the angles that Coops is holding. Drop shot! Hello. I mean, this guy is just going insane, but right at the end, Cal C said, hey, see you later to the Knights. Man, they held that one on for a long time. And honestly, if it was the strategy of Alpha 7 to press on to S2G, that did not work out for them in the slightest. S2G ended up on top, even though they with 1 member. I mean, that's good for them. Oh no.
Dead. You're dead.
Yeah. Yep.
You're
3,
dead.
2, 1. See ya.
Kaboom. Rise, they were looking, they were keeping tabs on that whole engagement for a good amount of time too, and they repositioned to the next zone with a great gatekeeping spot.
That was
here.
on purpose.
Yeah, that was on purpose. Rise, they were third party in that from way downtown. Now here comes the push as they look to send it a little more into the zone, trying to claim this warehouse, this compound, these buildings up against Mad Bulls here.
And they full sent it and still made it. I guarantee you, Rise, they heard those shots up there. They saw that S2G and Alpha 7 were dying, and they sent it up there to make sure that they're able to gatekeep them, because now Rise have a possibility of passing them all up on the leaderboards, and that's going to be another elimination point for them so far. And they have been just racking up these kills, 6 in total, with one member knocked, trying to get the reset. Mythic with another nade inside. Oh, that one was way too close for comfort. Yin Yang said, bling, blang, I'm out of here.
Yin Yang is just getting naded after grenade, and Besiktas making their way on in. So there's 4 teams battling right now for this cover. Who will come out on top? Oh, the grenade battle, just too strong out here.
Using that utility, that's going to be so huge, especially inside of buildings. Oh, a nice little cheeky up close down bounce nade. Everyone's just hopping over the place, trying to survive. Besiktas end up on top. They're going to have some nice elimination points right there. Rise still alive here. Got Garrix there. Supermassive Blaze, that's the team that Xset is going to be trying to pass up here. They only have 2 remaining members. Currently sitting with 3 kills. Actually, they got 1 knocked already. So Xset in big trouble. As a matter of fact, with this next circle, look at, if you can see the mini-map, everybody, kill switch in the complete opposite direction.
SMB now going to be pushing the compound, running into each other. Mufasa set up with the Scar, trying to get that spray down. But Zessi from across the way with the additional pressure from Besiktas. Everybody fighting for these buildings because these buildings are in the zone, Hot Jukes.
That's got to be one of the most frustrating things ever. Mufasa had such a beautiful angle and gets shut down right in the middle of it from a third party from behind. But, you know, Besiktas still performing so well every single game. A nice nade there from Mythic to open up this fight. He's going to throw another one in there for good measure. Oh, and instead gets naded himself. Tron getting the revenge. And that's all we're seeing here is just back and forth use of utility. And reset after reset after reset. And at some point, these teams are going to have to realize, hey, we're in the circle. Let's just kind of hang out, you know, be neighbors for the time being, and then battle all the other squads coming on in, because they're going to be stepping up to the plate here in just a few seconds.
Well, what's happening is there's a windowsill and there's a fresh baked pie, and everybody's trying to fight for that fresh baked cherry pie out here. And honestly, this game though, Buluk and Aton still alive on that east side now. They're probably going to clash here, but this is a big game where we're talking placement points. But the battle, hold on, compound now. SMB down to a solo, crashing on in, claiming a little sliver for themselves here.
Savine shutting them down, getting a nice 2-piece. Dude, Rise have already 13 eliminations. Honestly, I can't wait to see the leaderboards after this, because we're going to see Rise rise up once again. Baluk Chaptan still in the play, barely making it into this zone, holding that edge of it. Mufasa trying to catch Savine, get the revenge on his teammates, but this man has just been so slippery, Dave.
How many grenades does Mufasa have, though? Mufasa and Mythic.
One more. That's the answer, Dave.
But nades.
One
They've
more.
been tossing out nade after nade after nade, and they are just racking up the limb points. Garrix and Mufasa, you cannot discount them. Yes, they're down to just a duo, but they have a strong position in this zone. They might come out on top. Don't discount them yet.
Oh, we're going to see how they're going to get it done. I don't think you can ever count these two out when they're playing. And you can't even count out Garrix when he's by himself. Dude's able to pull off some massive plays. Besiktas, though, they have just been literally a force to be reckoned with. If you really honestly look at their performance and points that they have, they're #1 in the lobby for the amount of games played. They have to be.
Finally getting on that roof. Now, while all this mayhem was unfolding, next Rhea, they've been in that shack the whole time, not even moving a muscle. I believe they had to defend it maybe once against a push from Baluk, and then Baluk immediately pulling off that one, not losing anybody in the process. But next Rhea, talk about picking the perfect shack here for the perfect end zone. They're the only ones with hard cover right now.
Right, you are indeed. I mean, that zone shifting up to the top is a worst case scenario for all these teams down here. They're gonna have to make something happen. Interesting little rotation here from Baluk Chaptan going on right here to this edge. They're able to make it to that with that nice, beautiful smoke wall. That shack from next Rhea, that's gonna be the one in play. Oh, look at Garrick, the M249. Starting to lay mayhem onto Besiktas. Reyes blowing up the vehicle, looting up, getting ready for that end game. Here comes Sun, HP off the bottom left screen, everybody's what I'm looking at right here. And he's gonna be full sending it on in. Is he gonna be able to survive? Oh, he's just running straight up through the smokes, crouching back and forth. Shibby navigating his way through. When will next Rhea see him?
Dead. Next Rhea, their shack not paying off here. Now we're down to just Garrick's. Can Garrick's Mufasa pull off the chicken dinner again as Baluk on the outskirts of the broken wall, laying down the grenades, and now here comes the push, Hot Jukes. Garrick's versus the world once again.
Can he do it? M249's not gonna be enough, and Baluk Chaptan end up as the victors here. So a beautiful, sneaky play. We weren't really covering them too much, but they came in at the right moment and were able to execute and get a chicken dinner. A great game for Baluk Chaptan.
Baluk, 18th coming into this game. 18th coming into this game. So we talk about teams really needing these chicken dinners here, Hot Jukes. They were one of them. And you know who that's not good for? Xset. That is horrible for Xset because Xset are trying to overtake them. So Aton, solid game, but Baluk walking away with the chicken dinner. I like how they played that east side nice and slow. They weren't ultra aggressive, but at the same time, they were making sure to apply as much pressure as possible on third party, the compound that whole time towards that late game.
Great play, and a huge one because we have been talking about Xset, right, which is so far away, but Baluk Chaptan is a squad that are right there. Like, they have an absolute possibility of making it in here, and with that chicken dinner, that's gonna cut things really close. I guarantee you, if you're Supermassive Blaze, if you're, Mad Bulls, Aton, your eyebrows gotta be raised pretty high right now. And to be honest, especially if you're the Black Dragons, because you're not even playing in this one. You're just watching and hoping that your points are able to carry you on in there because, guys, I can't stress it enough. Being able to make it to that next stage, you have the possibility to literally change people's lives forever. So you gotta get it done. Gotta clutch it up here, no matter what.
By the way, got a jacket on today. Usually I'm a shirt guy, but I got the jacket on here today. Yeah, so if you're the Black Dragons, you're definitely rooting for S2G, you're rooting for Rise, you're rooting for A7 to soak up all the points at the top. If you're Black Dragons, you do not want Baluk to get a chicken dinner because this is going to be a team at the bottom, nipping at your heels, climbing up those overall leaderboards, slowly getting closer and closer every single battle. Wow, what a grenade there. I'm real curious though, Rise, how many grenades, how many grenade knocks, how many grenade kills did that team get? Because we saw nade after nade after nade, and they were hitting the mark here, Hot Jukes.
The answer, Dave, one more. One more nade, Dave. Always, always. Beautiful use of utility, and for them to be able to keep that many nades. A lot of crates, so they're able to constantly go for that. Nice little shot out the vehicle. This is a really great fight at this compound here between Alpha 7, S2G, and of course the Knights. Three are probably one of the most deadly teams here. And, we saw Rise just wait it out and get the better of all of them. Still able to put up some serious points are all these squads. Now, Dave, right before this happened, this game here, Supermassive Blaze was in 16, Baluk Chaptan was in 18. They had a 25-point difference, right? With the chicken dinner that Baluk Chaptan just get, that's 15 points just in placement alone. So I'm telling you, Dave, this is going to be real close here towards the end.
Man, next Rhea, I was really rooting for them to come out on top of that shack, but the ultimate counter to two members in a shack is one grenade in that window. Boom, you're dead, you're done. And Baluk knew about them that whole time. Hey, Jukes, that was a pretty amazing game. A lot of big fights here. Let's head over to the desk, see what they have to say.
Finally, a match where we got to see some teams from the bottom part of the leaderboard really come back. I mean, Zute, Balut, Chabtan grabbing that chicken dinner. They finally were able to go on ahead and get themselves some points.
Huge chicken dinner. I said they would come out strong the first game. Took them, a couple of games. But that's big for Balut. And we'll see in the overall just how far they rose up. Speaking about rising up, Rise actually getting the most amount of points because of all the elims they picked up. And I predicted Unicorns of Love was going to do well. They had 2 really good games back to back, and then the second I predict them, their last place was 0 points. I think today is just not my day to be predicting anything.
I guess you're cursed. You're cursed today, Zute. You gotta stop that. You gotta stop that. Okay, well, look at this. It looks like, speaking of Rise, Mythic, once again, their usual MVP player is gonna find himself on the board once again with 5 eliminations and over 1,000 damage and only 29% team contribution. That means the entire team really is showing up and being able to help out their team in its entirety. And 7, you can go ahead and talk about the overall rankings because we're finally seeing some movement on both sides of this board.
I definitely will. I mean, with what Sute was saying, rising up, guess what? The rose all the way up to first place, which I personally think this is huge. This is going to be a great confidence booster for the team, especially with the momentum that they're currently having now as we go towards 17th place. Blue Chapter being able to pass Eastern Stars and getting so much closer to those top 16, and something that Hot Jukes and Mustache Dave were mentioning there. Now Blue Chapter is not, I don't think Blue Chapter is even looking at Mad Bulls, Supermassive Blaze, or Atan Esports. I think they're looking at Black Dragons because that is the marker. Before this match, Blue Chapter had to average about an 8 point per match if they wanted to even reach Black Dragons. After that great performance, after that chicken dinner, and also being able to back it up with 11 elims, that average of 8 has just gone all the way down to about 5.5 if they want to be able to catch them. So if they can continue to perform like this, more than likely we're going to be seeing Black Dragons out of this. And Sue, something that makes it even interesting, that's that Supermassive Blaze and Mad Bulls are also not having one of the best showings, so they need to be careful too. It's time for these teams to wake up.
I 100% agree, right? We're 3 games in. You got 2 more left today. And we always talk about the momentum carrying into the next game or the next day. Mustache Dave is writing a book on it. I didn't really understand all the mumbo jumbo. I think Hot Jukes is co-signing it or something, or he's going to be the editor. I don't know. Those 2 got some stuff going on, but all I know about momentum as an ex-pro player myself is the very last match of the day. It does carry over. And we saw yesterday, Balut had a really good game to finish the day. I thought they would carry that momentum straight into the first game, but instead they carried it into the 3rd game. A win is a win, baby, and Balut is ever so closer getting to that top 16 span.
I actually, just taking a look at this, I love that both Besiktas and Balut Chabtan are both on here because these were teams that we were watching the second Super Weekend, having never had been in the Super Weekend at that point. And just look at how they've risen from there is all I want to really point out and say, kind of a short reflection. But also, you guys can go on ahead and get yourselves some nice treasure as well as a nice reflection on this tournament. You can go on ahead and enter the in-game center and use PMGC tokens to redeem directly. Get the token by watching live on YouTube, live in the in-game esports center, or through our social media events. This is going to go on ahead and last until December 21st, so grab it now. The second stage will be starting soon, will be next week, so please stay tuned. That'll start on December 22nd, and a lot more surprises are to come. Once again, we also have another question for you guys, as per usual, to be putting on in that chat. We already asked you guys a couple of them, and we have another. So who has the most luxurious hair in the tournament? I gotta say, well, 7 seems to be voting for Zute. I know there's a lot of talk about people's eyebrows, but this time we're talking about hair. Maybe eyebrows will go on ahead and come into this account as well. But go ahead and answer in the chat as per usual. And really quickly, y'all, where I think we're starting to see some of these teams towards the bottom figure it out. Like we said, there's already some teams making the movements. Even Pepper Supermassive Blaze jumped up, even though that means Mad Bulls went down. There's finally some movement down there. So going into Sanhok, kind of excited to see who's going to go on ahead and be able to move even more. So we'll be right back after this short break. We're going to be jumping on into Sanhok, and we'll see you then.
NANI?! お前はもう死んでいる。
I saw the first light, the first steps. Now I see much more. I capture Earth in all its beauty. I see action. I see drama. And I see it in the finest detail. Moments of inspiration. And the first steps. I am the 1+9.
PMGC West League. We're about to be going into our second to last match, and of course it's, I think, all of our favorites once again, Sanhok. So a lot of action happens on this map. Usually it's those Brazilian teams that go ahead and show up, but kind of curious to see if they're going to continue to be holding on to that title, or if we're going to see somebody else go on ahead and kind of step it up to the plate. But Zute, gotta go on ahead and kind of talk about it. At this point, since this is the second to last match, we're officially past the halfway point. Those teams around that 16th place spot at this point, what are your expectations for them?
Ooh, around that area, it's just tight. Just gotta tighten up your gameplay. Like, just the time for just, you know, experimenting, or not even experimenting, but pushing your boundaries. I think now is not the best time, unless if you're desperate for those points. Yes, you do need to push your boundaries a little bit, maybe to, you know, go for a little bit of risk that you can maybe succeed in. But if you're just hovering right around that area, just lock down your gameplay and fix the mistakes, right? Just try and eliminate the mistakes. You don't even need to worry about, you know, trying to show up or go big anymore. Just eliminate the mistakes and the points will come your way. And if you do that for the next 7 games of this Super Weekend, I feel like you'll have a good chance of finding yourself in that top 16.
Okay, and I guess specifically 7. Going into the Sanhok match, 2 of the teams that we always talk about are currently in that first and second place position. What are these teams towards the bottom? What do they have to do to go ahead and kind of duke it out with them to be able to get those points in this match?
Are you talking about those 16, 17, 18 point teams, or are we talking about the middle of the pack teams? Which ones?
I was thinking the ones that where the points really matter around that 16th place.
Okay, all right. So with those, if you see Rice or Alpha 7, just run away. Yeah, don't take that fight. I totally agree with what Sute was saying there. These teams need to pull a Ghost Gaming. These teams need to just back off, reassess, go to basics, and just start getting some points. Whether it's elims or whether it's placement points, choose one and narrow it down as best as you can. And then once all that stuff starts working, then you can go back to mixing it up.
Okay, that is a pretty good answer. Another way to go ahead and potentially mix it up is if they go ahead and upgrade their stuff to 1+9 or 9 Pro, because with the flagship performance, an immersive 120Hz display and hypertouch technology made specifically for gamers, the 1+9 and 9 Pro are your best shot to, of course, climb that leaderboard. That kind of goes on ahead and rolls straight on into the predictions of this next match as well. So who do we think are going to do well? Are you guys sticking with those teams towards the bottom, or are we expecting something completely different, Zute?
I think we're all in agreement. Brazil, all the way. It's just Which Brazilian team, though? Yesterday we had a little fun where, you know, the analyst desk, we all picked a Brazilian team, and the casters, they of course took the other Brazilian team, and a Brazilian team won on Sanhok. So this time around, I am going with the Brazilian team. I'm going to go with Alpha 7 simply because between Alpha 7 and Rise Esports, they have been going back and forth on the leaderboards, and since Rise right now is first place on the leaderboards, once again, I feel like that kind of lights that little flame up on Alpha 7. You know, their brothers from across Brazil, and it's like, yo, we gotta step up again and put these guys in their place. So I feel like Alpha 7's gonna get the chicken dinner here and take that #1 spot back for now.
Okay, and 7, who do you say is gonna go ahead and take it?
Sute, I love the pattern pick. All right, I love it, man. Now, with this one, I almost pick Alpha 7 because of just how dominant they are on that South Hill of boot camp. Like, they're just absolutely dominant. But I'm actually gonna have to go with Rise. I have to go with what I usually believe in, and that is momentum in Rise. I mean, when you talk about momentum, right now Rise is on one. For them to push up all the way to first place, as Sute was saying, they're kind of going back and forth there with what we usually call their older brother, Alpha 7. It's a very good dynamic, and I can't wait to see who's gonna win. Definitely for me, Rise.
I also ended up choosing Rise actually because kind of the same thought. They ended up jumping 3 whole placements from this last match, so I'm kind of just assuming that they're going to continue that and just run into this next game. So honestly, I don't think either of our picks are going to be wrong. I really want to see once again an Alpha 7 and a Rise fight because I feel like every time that we've seen one, they've kind of been, once again, going back and forth. I think the most recent one was when we saw Rise take down Alpha 7. So I think we need to see something a little bit different from Alpha 7, and hopefully they actually run into each other in this match. So that's kind of what I'm looking forward to in this one. Is there anything you're specifically going to be keeping an eye on, Zute?
Yeah, so just plot where Alpha 7 is on the map, plot where Rise is on the map, and when that circle pops up, everything in between that line of path, if you're a team that's in that vicinity, in that area, just automatically eject, pave way, walk away, go somewhere else, because you do not want to be caught between those 2 wrecking balls on Sanhok. But this is Sanhok. I still feel like some wild card thing might happen where another team wins, but we've seen Brazil so dominant on this map that these predictions, I almost feel like, could be pretty accurate and true.
It's unfortunate that Black Dragons aren't in here because maybe all 3 of us would have chosen a different one at that point because all 3 of those teams have been really showing up. But we'll see if either of our 2 choices have taken it. Or as you said, Zute, I do think that there is a chance another team could go on ahead and potentially show up, especially actually if Alpha 7 and Rise end up running into each other in this match. So we're just going to have to keep an eye out and see who exactly it is. But luckily, we again do not have long to wait because we're going to be jumping right on in. The players are ready, everybody's strapped in their plane, and they're about to go on ahead and eject. Here we go on to Sanhok with Jukes and Dave.
They have ejected indeed. What's up, everybody? I'm Hot Jukes here with Mustache Dave. Game number 4 here, jumping on in to my favorite map, Sanhok, dude. Let's just kick back, relax, and just watch the show, man, because I'll tell you what, it is a great show. It's amazing. It's just so crazy to see all the storylines that we got going on here. I mean, Rise Esports. I said it in the last game, right? I was like, I wonder where they're going to end up on the leaderboard after that one. First place, Dave. First place.
Yeah, they are making it look good. They're going out with style here, man. And talking about style, we saw last game, Boluk, they were popping off solid points. This game around, they get the zone. But we'll get back to that because I already see some trouble on the horizon. Looks like Knights versus XF, both teams from North America. Jay already on their knees, Polo in the compound, trying to play that Overwatch position, maybe anticipate the push and possibly get a knock or 2 themselves here. But Jay is just bleeding out here, Hot Jukes.
This is got to be such a tough position for Exit. I don't even know what they would or what they're thinking at this point. Like, you're so far behind. You need to be putting up insane games every match, and you're going to start this off with 1 knock. Polo's got an AK. He has no vest. That is super bad. He may catch him, though. running on the open, not able to get the shots though, and now he's going up against Coops. This may be a really good Molotov, and that was more of a kind of keep away shot to buy some time if the rest of Xset is able to get here, but I don't see them moving, Dave. I think at this point they're already cutting their losses, and honestly, for me, it's really sad to see because I don't want to see this team give up because it happens, right? When you're so far behind, there's a certain point where you can just be like, well, we're not going to make it, guys, you know? And I think that there's just way too much on the line to ever think that. Polo, get the Rezo J! Couldn't do it.
Oh, Xenox. Oh, no.
Kill switch.
Kill switch with that off angle.
Oh.
The 1-2. The 1-2 tap right there from behind. Oh, J7 now alert of the position from Xenox, but down 2 members early game. I don't even know if it matters at this point, huh, Jukes?
Not like this, Xset. Not like this. Man, it's so
Night's
hard to
off.
see. It's so hard to see because, you know, for me, I've been watching the squad for so long. We've been watching the squad for so long. We know what they're capable of. And to see them, you know, make it to this final super weekend, a little glimmer of hope. And honestly, a lot of that hope sparked because of Besiktas. You know, I think Besiktas was a squad that put up so many points that we're just like, oh my gosh, it's possible, I think, for a team to actually make it with only one super weekend. But I mean, after this happening, it's really starting to look impossible. But Dave, I think when you have the prize pools that we have coming up here and everything that's on the line, you can't give up. And I don't want to see Xset do that. I want to see them give it their all the way up into the end.
Talk about awareness, though. A7 ultra aware of where J7 was hiding behind that bowler. J7 running downhill now. I don't know if this is the call. J7 kind of luring A7 right towards Polo, right? So I feel like if I was J7 in that situation, I would run the opposite direction, not near my teammate, not bring him towards your other squad mate here. Oh man, J7.
That's a hard. I'll tell you what, the opposite direction is right into Alpha 7. I don't think he wanted anything to do with that direction. So super unfortunate. I think you're right, but at the end of the day, though, Dave, like, what is Polo really gonna do by himself? You know,
survive, like, heal, top 4, top 3. Good look for meds. What are you talking about? This is Sanhok, hot jukes. This is the only map in. And I'm going to go back to my book that I'm about to publish here. This is the only map that you can really heal it out and get a solid amount of placement points. We've seen it so many times in the past. So you ask what Polo can do? Polo can look for meds and heal. That's my take.
When in doubt, heal it out. Don't know why I ever doubted it. And I've read that book. And for some reason...
You're revising it. Yeah, you're revising it. So
I'm revising it. I'm revising it. But I mean, just seeing, you know, Xset and their performances so far, I want to see more because I know that they need more than 15 points a game. And even healing it out is not going to get you that. So that's why I'm just kind of like, ugh, you know, you hate to see it. Oh! Ouch! Elian hitting them ankles really hard right there, but does survive. So that's good for him. Rest of Alpha 7, the Lions of the lobby, just hunting down Xset. Like, literally, in the Sahara, creeping, crawling, stalking, looking for their prey. You can even see Revo punching in the air. He just can feel it in his hands and his knuckles, just mad, saying, how have we not found them already? Revo looking at him saying, hey, man, I'm looking. He looks back to him. He says, no, you got to look harder. And he looks back to the other man again, and he's just like, you know what? I've been looking for weeks, and I've gotten a lot of kills. And he's like, you have gotten a lot of kills. And then friendship begins. But, you know, back to where we're looking at here. Xset. I don't know how this friendship's going to handle after this one, because, I mean, this is going to be in big trouble. I mean, they already got 2 members down, going up against arguably the best team in the lobby. Can they make something magical happen, Dave? I want to see it.
I love Senatex's position, kind of anticipating them retreating from this push. So Xset, nowhere to go. Xset, they need to win. They need to win this battle if they want to survive. And there's nothing else because A7 are completely surrounding them right now.
Look at this angle. J7 is holding just like the sneakiest of all angles to try and survive. That's how desperate Xset is to survive here, and they go out with the goose egg. Dave, we've talked about it before. The nail in the coffin. What's your hammer looking like, Dave, for Xset?
Oh, it is. It's been hammering away for some time now, but the question is, how deep is the nail? Right, that nail, it's almost all the way in, Hot Jukes.
It's deep.
It's one more, two more, bam, bam. That'd be it. That'd be it. What? 6 more games to go. If I'm smelling some chicken dinner, then sure.
Well,
but if I'm not smelling no chicken, I don't know. I don't know.
I think you're right, Dave. I think you're right. I think a 15-kill chicken dinner in the next game. I think we'll start seeing that. We'll start seeing that nail just come out just a little bit, you know. But if that does not happen in the next game, that nail's all the way in.
Oof. Yeah. And it's not coming out either. Yeah, it's not
Nope.
coming out either. Oh, Rokas spotting out Tron spotting out Rokas! Lynn with the perfect distraction right there. Tron didn't even see it coming. Hot Jukes.
The timing on that. Oh man, that's got it. There's nothing worse as a pro player than having a wide open shot, and the second you look, just straight ear hold, instantly knocked. Ugh. The gratification is all the way to the bottom, but Enjoy is in having a blast with S2G. Literally.
Can Enjoy get the last one? Enjoy took out all 3 members on the bridge. Enjoy is in the water now, looking to get the squad wipe. Enjoy's telling his teammates, hey, let me get it, fellas.
Come on.
Let me get it.
For the highlight reel.
For the highlight reel. I mean, that's a highlight in its own, right? Setting up that bridge camp as a solo to take down 3 just like that. That was nice. I want to point out real quick, though, Rise, Boat Tate, they are vacationing. They are vacationing all the way up there. Just relaxing, letting the lobby do its thing. So I respect that.
We've seen the Botate have like a very low percentile success rate, Dave. But with this particular zone, it could work out. It could work out for them. So I want to see. Oh, man.
Hey,
they are
big chill.
Way out of the map right now.
Chill.
They are so far out of this one. And they're going to hold the edge. They're going to stop. No, they're not. So they are full sending it on in so far that, I mean, I'm not too sure exactly where they are located or where they're headed. Most likely towards Baluk. You're going to be sending it finally back down into the island here. Dude, that choke point that Besiktas had, it's starting to get really congested. I think we're going to see next Rhea crossing that bridge right now. I'm hoping we can get a shift onto that to see that fight.
I want them to hold it down too, right, Jukes? Like, I want Besiktas just to hold it down, because if they can take out next Rhea, if they can win that, Mad Bull's going to be coming into the area, Fenerbahce going to be coming in through that bridge. This bridge is a crucial focal point on this map right now. And for Besiktas to be trying to hold that down, that's great.
Looks like we're missing a big fight. You hate to see it. Yeah, they're going to be on that bridge, battling it out. We saw the kill feed going nuts. All right, this is going to move on over to Footballist. Okay. On to Aton Esports. Soul K. It's only one day from Sunday.
Yes.
And that's when we're going to see Soul K really pop off. Soul K Sunday is the day where Soul K just ascends to a whole nother level.
It's real, too. It's real.
What's that?
It's real. Soul K Sunday is a real thing.
Absolutely. National holiday in some countries. Reyes goes down to Garrick's Rise. This is Rise that just got off the boat, and they are storming the beach here, finding Baluk Chapdan slipping. They just won they won that Erangel game.
Yep.
And now Rise looking to get a little bit of revenge here.
Yeah, if you're Baluk, not a good look right here. You had the clear advantage. You might have even spotted out Rise on that boat as they docked, made shorelines up there. And for them to be pushing uphill, an uphill battle, you had the advantage, in my opinion, on them. But Garrick's from behind that anchor position, able to open up that fight and allow his 3 teammates to push up that hill. That's Rise for you, man. I mean, Rise are in first place for a reason, and nothing's stopping them, Hot Jukes.
Nothing indeed, man. This squad has just been popping off like crazy this whole entire tournament. Garrick's has made some plays that you just sit back and just say, wow, you know. And honestly, I've been saying that a lot this entire tournament. It's so crazy to see these squads just bounce back and forth up on the leaderboards. Teams that are even struggling, you know, in the mid pack on the bottom. Did we see glimmers of hope from them too, able to make some big plays here and there? So comes finals time, I'm really looking to see these teams that are kind of mid pack just start off strong. I think that's going to be the biggest thing going into that.
Yeah, and that's a key takeaway, right? Top 16, they make it to the finals. Clean slate, right? Those finals leaderboard starts at 0, so it's anybody's game at that point. And to get a strong start, get a strong lead, we could definitely see that team that just qualified in 15th or 14th, we could see them top 3 easy. We've seen this story play out multiple times in multiple events, so we'll have to keep up to date with that. Eastern Stars, though, playing those cliffs, really do enjoy their position over there. But right now, a lot of teams just on the edge. Now Enjoy. Oh, Enjoy has been hunting down this solo from S2G for about 5 minutes now.
He wants it.
He wants it, but now he's in the water.
He
might get taken out. He actually might get taken out. Okay, his teammate from behind.
Oh, he sees him. He doesn't see him? Does see him?
He
doesn't
does
see him? Sees him.
What was that?
Okay.
What was that?
I think maybe he wanted to, you know, just... Oh, and he... Oh, I thought they lost Enjoy for a second. I thought I saw that smoke down there. Oh, but Enjoy does go down! And looks like he may even get finished from Vecta all the way across the map.
Wow.
Looks like Enjoy was just having a little too much fun after that squad wipe. Next Rhea just... And honestly, that's a weird play. I don't know. Making that shot...
You're outside the zone.
Yeah, you're so far out of position. Taking those shots is just going to give away your spot. They're going to be gatekeeping the absolute heck out of you. But maybe he was just trying to get away that kill point first. But there was that vehicle right next to him, that blown up Cybertruck. So I think that Besiktas will be able to get the full reset on that side. Now, back to the main story at hand. Eastern Stars, 18th place, right? They are in a dominant position. They are probably in one of the best spots in the map right now. They need to do what Baluk Chaptan just did with that chicken dinner, right? They have to pop off here, and they have to succeed because they just got knocked down from Baluk. Mad Bulls, they are in 16th place.
Yeah.
They need to hold on with everything they've got, and Nox Bomb, oh, it's going to punish them. They're even shooting the crate a little bit. I believe it's just Yin Yang left for the Mad Bulls. Oh, Effect is still up. Effect is still up. So he is going to be able to get the red. So we're going to have 3 members up from Mad Bulls. They're eating a lot of blue zone here, and they are way out of position. I don't see them even getting into this next circle.
Yeah, this fight's happening near Tap Mach all the way up there to northeast.
Woo!
Oh, Nox Bomb. They call him the bomb for a reason. And I was going to mention that this fight has been on the cusp of erupting for about 10 minutes now, since that 5-minute mark. Jukes, these two teams have been going back and forth. And like you mentioned, Mad Bulls currently in 16th overall. They definitely have a lot more to lose. But Yin Yang with MG3. The MG3. Yin Yang in the blue, MG3. Definitely sees the Duke and machine. Bop, bam!
Dude,
There's
this is
one.
the deadliest
There's
gun.
one.
This is
Grenade
the
for the
deadliest
follow-up.
gun in all of PUBG Mobile. This dude could definitely win this. Oh, that nade was so close. Gonna throw another one back. Yeah, I think that nade that just hit him was a little too close for comfort. Oh, Yin Yang goes down to bomb again, dude. Nox Bomb with the nades. Oh my goodness, just killing the momentum. And I guarantee you, the rest of these squads in the lobby, Baluk, Eastern Stars, specifically, they just saw Mad Bulls go down on their kill feed. They know what they need to do. And with this next circle, Eastern Stars are poised perfectly to get a chicken dinner here. They cannot throw this. They have to pop off this match.
Yeah, definitely tighten up here. Ooh, you got the Knights on the high ground trying to defend the push from A7, working their way uphill, working their way through these smokes here. Looks like Chico was caught in the process now. other squad mates out of the card. Xenox looks like they're going to be pulling off this one. They don't want nothing to do with this one. So we'll definitely see these two teams fight each other moving forward. But back to your point with Eastern Stars, 18th overall as of right now. I want to see them group up, though. They are all holding down their opposite kind of angles on those cliffs. And if one of them gets knocked, I don't see a revive coming out. And with everybody else now closing on in, since it is such a big focal point in this new circle, they need to be very mindful of that, Hot Jukes.
Oh, they have to be super mindful of it. Besiktas getting into it with Garrix from Rise. He's trying to throw some nades on back and forth. Next circle about to pop here in the next few seconds.
7 kills.
It is already starting to close. Garrix trying to hit the laydown, but goes down to Sud HP with that M249. And now you're going to see the rest of Besiktas really starting to press Rise. Mythic holding a great angle. Oh, he peeked just a little too long. And now he's getting punished for it. A nice little peek back and forth. Actually goes for the first aid. Super risky. Has to switch to his gun, but it ain't going to be fast enough.
They'll end up getting a nice little trade right there. But yeah, not fast enough, so they should be able to get those heals, those resets. But Luke, oh, we need to hit this. We need to survive here. Luke coming off of a great chicken dinner down to just a solo. We see him running. He is running around, trying to get the wrap around. Cooking a grenade as well. Oh, that might be good. That might be 2 elim points.
Got him. Take it. He wants to get the confirm. He wants those points. He knows he needs them. Gonna try to get another card here. Gonna get the first aid off. We're gonna see that reset. Oh, Supermassive Blaze. A team right on that cusp as well. They're in 15th place. And it looks like Aton is gonna go down. And Supermassive Blaze.
Fernand is still alive from Baluk, so this is great because that building is in the next circle as well. Fernand, I believe, cooking a grenade. Trying to toss the grenade at GK first. GK first not even looking at Fernand right now. But Fernand needs to be cautious. Behind him, Besiktas, you don't want nothing to do with them. You don't want
nothing
to do with them.
If I'm Fernand, I'm just big chilling here. He actually goes for the nade. I was so risky. Yeah, I was like, he should just hold that angle and just kind of hope that, you know, Unicorns of Love just kind of let him get away with it for a little longer. But after that nade, that is going to prompt a full send from them. Wow, there goes Eastern Stars picking up some kills. Yeah, Fernand made a little bit too much noise. And Unicorns of Love are going to take him out of the match. So Baluk Chaptan goes down to 9th place. Eastern Star is still up. That's going to be the big storyline that I'm going to be covering here because this is a team that could jump into 16th place. They're trying to keep their tournament hopes alive, and they're in a dominant position in order to do so.
Do you think that, though? Because I'm looking at Eastern Stars, and they're all split. They're all on their individual cliff up here at the high ground. And some of them not even in the zone, Hot Juke. So I think it's really going to come down to their ability to group up here now that we're in a top 8 situation.
I'll tell you what, they have the position to do it. How they utilize it, that is going to be the question. So they got to make sure that they use it to its maximum ability. The next circle does pop, and it's in the complete wide open. So all these teams, Eastern Stars included, are going to have to get moving. Unicorns of Love with 3 down. 27 seconds left on the clock. They're gonna have to get these reses off extremely fast. Now, luckily for them, the zone is quite close, so they should be able to move into this one after this full reset. But the longer that they take to get these reses off, the more we're gonna see some of these other teams poise up in that position to gatekeep them from those buildings. So they got to get moving quick.
Yeah, definitely an Eastern Stars game here. Top 6. That's 4
they all need to go to
points. Yeah. Who's in the next zone too? Who's in the next zone? So we'll see how they end up playing this one off because they've been up in these cliffs since circle number 1. So they... Oh! The punch midair to survive? Okay. Learn something new every day.
Interesting play. I will put that one in my back pocket. I mean, this dude jumped from far down and survived, but not for too long. Kabbalah getting a beautiful shot from on top of the mountainside. Besiktas still in there. Oh, and Unicorns of Love are put in the blender, Dave. And that blender is put on full blast. They hop in the vehicle to try and full send it away. I don't think they're going to make it out alive, though. One goes down. The red roll kiss still holding on for his life, getting shot from everybody in the lobby. Literally everybody.
Yep, Mafioso from the blue trying to get at least one elim point before going out here, jumping out, getting taken down right there. Eastern Stars, they did lose Octavian, who was trying to group up here. Rokiss, the only survivor after that very risky rotate in the vehicle right there. So top three, Besiktas, Eastern Stars, and Unicorns of Love.
Ooh, I'll tell you what, man, just like in real life, when you're in the chicken coop, it's the roosters on top that are the king, right? And all the ones at the bottom, there's an old saying, and I think that's exactly what is happening here because they are in a dominant position. The next zone, though, mixes things up a little bit. We're gonna have to see Eastern Stars get off their hill. Rokiss ain't done yet, though. He said, I'll take a kill real quick. I'll take a little extra point on that side. Bazi says bye-bye to Besiktas. Enjoy. And oh my goodness. Rokiss.
Oh no!
Oh, Rokiss holds it down. Gonna get the double. Barely. Goes for the thirst instead, gets the point. Gets the second one. He is not done yet. Gonna go for the confirm, gotta get it. And he gets the placement point right before it's all over. Kabbalah has to jump all the way down. Whoa, but gets shut down. Besiktas actually take the chicken dinner there. Man, I didn't know who was gonna win that for a second.
Yeah, definitely a toss-up. Rokiss, though, for both teams, the spoiler, right? Rokiss played such a big spoiler right there for Besiktas and Eastern Stars, who Eastern Stars, top finish, solid placement points, and they had a couple elim points. I counted at least 7 or 8 as well, which will really help them moving forward. But Rokiss just playing spoiler from in the blue, not hesitating to take those shots. And not only did Rokiss get 3 knocks, I believe he was able to secure those knocks into elim points as well. So Rokiss, talk about the clutch badge. We like to give that out here often. I think Rokiss gained that here, this game.
Dude, without a doubt. I mean, to be able to steal those 2 points away was huge. And not to mention the placement points that he got. So a great finish for them. Eastern Stars, that was a good one as well. I mean, they got that position. They dominated from it. They didn't get the chicken dinner, but they got a whole bunch of points. And I think that that's something that you can't really shake your head at here. Let's look at the highlights here from this last match. Sanhok, dude, I love this map so much. It was just non-stop action from start to finish.
This
there.
was nice.
Enjoy.
Rokiss was popping off all game.
Look at
all
this.
game.
Here it is. 1, 2, and 3.
So Rokiss popping off all game, and Besiktas as well. Nothing but just getting involved all game long. We saw them on that east side camping that bridge, and since then they just kept rolling on in, playing that east side, racking up the elim points. So Besiktas, I feel like coming to final form here, really preparing themselves for the finals. Besiktas top 5, Jukes, I'm telling you.
Oh, without a doubt. Sorry, I just got too hyped. I saw that Sanhok, so I was just running up and just straight owned that kid. That was so insane. Love to see shots like that here. And I think you're totally right. I mean, Besiktas, I without a doubt can say, during this tournament, oh my gosh, look at all this just pressure from Eastern Stars up top. It's just too strong. I mean, I think per game, when it comes to Super Weekends, Besiktas are number 1.
Mafioso from the blue. A lot of players playing spoiler from the blue here. Octavian, yeah, we didn't see how Octavian got taken out, but at least Octavian was able to acquire a elim point before getting taken out. But this is a Rokiss spoiler play right there. There's 1, there's 2, and here's 3.
Oh,
wow,
so nice.
That is nice.
Ooh, and it
Zesty
pops him out
hello?
the air.
Yeah,
to
Zesty's
get the
like,
placement
hello?
point. And not to
Oh,
mention,
man.
like, that was really good that he did get him out the air, because if he didn't and landed and died to fall damage, that's a point that he wouldn't have been able to get. So clutch play there. Last thing, Dave, real quick. I wonder, we see Besiktas popping off, and they have been doing crazy performances. Is it because, though, the top teams know that they're headed to the finals?
Wow. Okay. That's a good question. Let me think about it. I'm going to think about it when we get to that last game. I'll let you know my answer. Until then, let's head over to the desk. Maybe they have an opinion on it, but that's a good question, Jukes. Great question.
Tell us, experts. Tell us.
Well, Besiktas taking their second win just today. Besiktas definitely showing that they are definitely understanding what they're doing in here. I mean, Zute, Seven, do either of y'all want to go on ahead and answer Juke's question?
Definitely. I mean, I can definitely start it. Sue, do you want to start it? You know what, Sue? You're in the middle. You start it first.
I think both of us that's such an easy question that, you know, the casters even have to ask. I'm just like, scoff, right? Okay, Besiktas, we saw in week 2, they popped off, okay? In week 2, everybody was trying their hardest. Not all the points are solidified. So if Besiktas could do it in week 2, of course they could do it in week 3, regardless if the top teams are trying their hardest or not. Please. Like, come on. All right. Anyways, MVP and actually before I go on, Seven, did you have anything you wanted to add on to that?
No, I'm absolutely with you. I think Besiktas is starting to come more into form, and something that I especially loved in that last match is we always talk about the Brazilian teams being super aggressive in Sanhok. I mean, Besiktas came up to rise and they won that fight. So I love the aggressiveness too out of Besiktas that we saw there. And I mean, even going back to Miramar, we saw how aggressive they've been able to be and how tactical they are about it. So I mean, I don't think it has to do anything with some of these top teams. I think the top teams are also trying as well, especially as they are trying to get into form too.
Yeah, look at the leaderboards, right? Besiktas in 8th place overall right now. Look at week 2, 166. I want the casters, all right? You better be listening. Point out one other number that's higher than 166. There is a 184 out of Footballers, but as you can tell, they absolutely dominated week 2. So it's not because other teams, you know, have secured a spot or whatever the case, you know, they were saying. Honestly, Besiktas is just a really good team, and they're just showing us once again in the 3rd Super Weekend.
I don't disagree. I do think that they've figured it out. After not making the first Super Weekend, ever since then, they really have been popping off. So I'm kind of curious to see if they're actually going to grab this next one. They seem to be on a roll. But really quickly, you guys can go ahead and be on a roll by picking up some treasure boxes, get yourself some PMGC tokens, and redeem them directly in the Esports Center. How to get the tokens is, of course, watch live on YouTube in the in-game Esports Center or through our social media events. It ends on the 21st, so make sure you go ahead and do it now. The second stage of the treasure box hunt will start next week on the 22nd, so please stay tuned because there's a lot more surprises yet to come, and you can go ahead and do that all the way until January 13th. Whew, okay, really quickly though, I do have a question for you guys. We can talk about this now. Zute, another question, first of all, for the viewers that they can go ahead and ask in chat is, who will end the league phase with the most eliminations? So go ahead and pop that in the chat right away. What is your answer? Who is going to end off with the most elims? But Zute, you talked about aggression, kind of goes to that question as well. There was another moment of aggression that I think you really wanted to talk about. We ended up seeing the Knights just full on pushing Xset.
Okay, so for some of the viewers, they might misread that as, oh, the Knights are also targeting Xset. They want to make sure Xset doesn't, you know, qualify. No, Xset is not qualifying, regardless of what happens now, okay? What the Knights are doing is they're sending a message to Ghost Gaming. If you guys remember back to week 2, Ghost Gaming got kicked out of Paradise Resort. They don't want to fight S2G anymore, and they took up Xset's old split loot, which the Knights did the same exact thing. They pushed Ghost Gaming even further away from Painan to make sure that the Knights get even more space, even though they don't drop there for loot themselves. So that right there was sending a message to Ghost Gaming like, hey, come next week, you guys better not be landing anywhere close to our vicinity.
Well, let's hope in this next match Xset isn't going to have that happen to them, because they still need to go ahead and try to grab some of those points. So we're going to be tossing it over to a break, and then we're going to be going into our very last match of the second day here on the Super Weekend. So see you guys shortly.
NANI?! お前はもう死んでいる。
saw the first light, the first steps. Now I see much more. I capture Earth in all its beauty. I see action. I see drama. And I see it in the finest detail. Moments of inspiration. And the first steps. I am the 1+9.
Welcome back, PMGC Super Weekend 3, Day 2, about to be going on to Erangel. A lot of really interesting matches so far. Besiktas winning 2 out of 5 matches so far, I feel like definitely stands out the most to me, but also the fact that otherwise, a lot of those teams closer to the bottom haven't been moving too much around that leaderboard, except for that big Baluk Chaptan win right there, smack in the center. I mean, Zute, there still hasn't been too much movement in regards to getting into that top 16.
Yeah, the movement isn't there, but the point gap is what we really want to take a look at, and the point gap has shrunk a lot. They're back in 18th place, but they're in a way better position in 18th place now compared to when they started today, because that point gap is very close now. It's just like literally 5 points difference. You know, pick up a few elims and then you shoot yourself a ranking up. So we got this last game for today, but of course the big games are gonna come in tomorrow, and then we'll really finally get to see who is going to make it into that top 16.
Sute, I love that you mentioned the point gap right there, because right now 15th place and 18th place are only separated by 7 points, which is just absolutely insane. It is going to come down to tomorrow, and just something to keep in mind as well, Black Dragons more than likely is going to be passed by Aton Esports here in this next game, as they are currently tied at 186 apiece. So a lot of stuff is going to be changing after this game.
Yeah, so we'll have to see if anybody else is really going to be able to make it up to Black Dragons as well. Still kind of biting their nails to see if they're going to be able to make it or not. Something that all these other teams clearly are kind of utilizing is their 1+9 or 9 Pro, because with immersive technology, flagship performance, 120Hz display and hypertouch, made specifically for gamers, the 1+9 9 Pro are your best shot to go on ahead and climb that leaderboard. That goes on ahead, segue straight into, guys, very last match of today. Who do you guys think are going to win it? It's on Erangel. 7, do you want to start it off?
Yes, Alpha 7. I just gotta keep it within the brand. Nah, I'm just kidding. I'm really hoping this team gets a chicken dinner here. Sute alluded to it earlier. We saw Rice Esports still being ahead of Alpha 7. We know how these Brazilian teams are with their egos and also their pride, so I'm looking for Alpha 7 to have a great performance here in the last match.
Okay, Zute, how about you?
I'm gonna turn the other way around and just pick a team that probably not a lot of people are thinking of. I'm gonna go with Footballist, because Footballist last week had a really huge week. They picked up a few chicken dinners, and today I feel like we just haven't really seen them pop off. So I feel like if we're talking about momentum and carrying it into tomorrow, even though they're good, they're qualified, I think it's about time, you know, we might see a Footballist game right before Sunday, right? Just to prep for Soul Case Sunday.
Kind of the same argument goes with my pick. I actually went on ahead and chose Fenerbahce because I feel like they usually have some pretty explosive gameplay. Haven't super seen it around here just yet, but also they still have that 0 chicken dinners, and the one thing that we keep saying is they have to at least get 1 before the finals start. So maybe this will be the one. Maybe this will be the one where they'll finally go ahead and get that chicken dinner. And oh my goodness, last match on Erangel. We already officially passed the halfway point for the Super Weekend, and I'm so glad you guys did bring up the point gap because it is just getting more and more close. Like, at least before we could kind of go on ahead and take a look at it and kind of determine, these guys are really gonna have to make big moves when climbing this leaderboard. They ended up performing so far today, but no movement so far. That means all the movement is gonna be happening tomorrow, or maybe even this match. We'll see, because we're about to jump right on into it. Here we go, our very last match of today. Jukes, Dave, take it away on Erangel.
All right, everybody, here we go. Last match of today's Super Weekend. Only one more day left to go. Guys, this is going to be a pivotal one. But before we get this one started, you know, let's talk about what we heard on the desk. Yeah, man, it's getting spicy on the desk today, Dave, huh?
It's super spicy, man.
Getting spicy. Getting spicy a little bit. Personally, by the way, guys, you know, I've known all these guys on the desk for quite a long time. Zute, man, once the man put that gold chain on, Maj and Zute, Dave. I think that's what it is. What do you think?
Gold chain for sure. So we'll see, though. We'll see. We're gonna keep it spicy here, and I believe what was it, Spin calling for footballists or Zute calling for footballists? One of them trying to carry that momentum, right, heading into tomorrow, Sunday. I saw footballists dropping near S2G, so that's why I'm bringing this up here. Because if footballists can come out on top and get a nice little elim point here, elim point there, well, that momentum, yeah, I can see that meter flying high here in preparation for tomorrow.
Well, let's see right here. The reason why I made that reaction was because I just saw this first circle, and oh man, dude, this is like one of the worst situations when you have a plane path and the zone goes in the complete opposite direction. So the strategy's definitely changed. I think we see a lot of players, teams, just grab some quick loot and get moving immediately. And I think we're starting to see that from some of these squads, like Footballists, like you said here. You know, so we're gonna see, you know, which one of these teams are gonna pop off here at the end. Besiktas, 2 chicken dinners today. They have been crushing it. Bottom teams are the ones that I'm focusing on, though. The squads that are gonna be barely making it on in. And 16th place. Oh, wow.
Sorry, I thought they were sending it. Sorry, keep going, keep going.
Bulls end off the mountain there. Love to see that.
I thought they were
Mad Bulls, they're chilling in 16th with 155 points. Eastern Stars, after that performance, dude, they pushed up to 17th. So they're only 3 points behind Mad Bulls. Mad Bulls, ooh, you're on the hot plate.
And it's hot. It's hot. You know.
It's hot.
6 more games to go. Woo. I don't think it gets any hotter than that, Hot Jukes. That's a fact, man. That's
crazy.
A fact. So,
speaking of hot,
hold up. You were talking about Besiktas last game. You asked me a question, man.
I'm asking you a question. I want answers.
To think about it. Right now in Yesnaya, you got Besiktas and the Knights looking to duke it out here, get those trades back and forth. And you asked me, do I think Besiktas are performing at this level that they're doing now because other teams are not trying hard? Is that what you were saying? Am I paraphrasing it correctly?
Well, I'm not gonna say not trying hard. I think all these squads are trying, you know, pretty darn hard. You know, at the same time though, is like, are they utilizing every strategy in their book, right? I don't think so. I think that at this point, Alpha 7 and all the top squads, they know they're gonna qualify. So I think there is a little bit of, hey, you know what? Let's mix things up a little bit. Let's try this strat out, you know? Because honestly, you're going to see some of these squads.
If we get taken out, not a big deal type of deal.
Yeah, try to throw a little bit of that smoke grenade on the rest of the, you know, squads that are going to be trying to study them. You know, saying, okay, you know, they made this rotational path, but in reality, they're just doing it because, you know, they already know that they made it.
I like that analogy. Throw that smoke grenade out there. That's wow, that's a Hot Juice classic right there. I like that a lot. That was nice. Sir. But I kind of agree with you. Like, I ask myself, A7, right? Unicorns of Love, S2G, are they performing at their optimal performance? Are they doing their very best that they can do? I can't sit here and say they are, right? You kind of mentioned it. They already qualified. They're all the way up there at the top, almost at 400 total points. The main objective here for these last couple games, top 16, right? Rise, A7, Unicorns of Love. There's a ton of teams at the top. They already made it. So that pressure is no longer there. I feel like when that pressure is no longer there, you kind of sit back a little bit. You're not leaning forward in your chair. You're not really close to your phone screen. You're kind of chilling, you know? You're kind of reclining a little back. You got your feet up. The fan might not be on high anymore. It might be on low, if you know what I'm saying. I don't think they're trying as hard, right? So who is trying hard? XZ, Baloo, Eastern Stars, Mad Bulls, SMB, all those teams at the very bottom. They are 100% trying to perform their best here. So to answer your question, Besiktas, their success here so far, is it because other teams might not be on the edge of their seat? I'm going to say yes.
Yeah, you know what? Hold on. Let's watch this fight right now. Speaking of Fenerbahce on Kill Switch does go down. Dave, yep.
That's the
gonna
nail.
Be nail in the yeah, and
That's
it's gonna
the
be
nail.
a punch out.
This is a nail.
Oh.
This is from last game too. Didn't Exet punch out Fenerbahce? One or two members early
They
game?
did. It's a little
The revenge. We talked about the revenge.
And they're gonna go for the revenge. They're gonna go for their punch out.
Exet
Exet get a taste of their own. We talked. Yeah, we said like, hey, I wouldn't be wanting to punch them out when you're at bottom of the leaderboard. And it looks like, punching
three of them?
every single one. This proves players, they do not forget, Dave. They don't forget. And, oh my goodness, it just
Three of them got punched out. 3 of them just got punched. We said not to do that, Exet. You don't want to pick enemies with teams at the top. Fenerbahce, 7th place. They could do whatever. They made it their mission to get the revenge punch-outs. I'm telling you that right now, Hot Jukes.
And I'll tell you what, they did exactly that, and that proves, like I was saying, these players don't forget when things like this happen. A punch out, you say something, they're gonna come back to you, and it just hit me, Dave. It just hit me, right? Because Zute said on the desk, right, that, easy answer. Besiktas all day long, right? But I'll tell you what, Alpha 7, I guarantee you they heard that, and they say, all right, we'll see come finals time who's going to be up on top, because they have been on top pretty much this entire tournament. We're watching Jay, last one up for Exit, and guess what? He ain't going to get punched out, because if he goes down, he just goes down and gets eliminated immediately, but he's going to end up getting headshot right on out of that one. Oh,
the Duke
right
machine!
Say Exit,
All of them!
goodbye! See y'all. See,
they don't even care about the revives. They don't even care about the revives.
Hey, let's put it this way, though, Dave. If this is day 1 in the finals, are they doing that?
No.
No way.
No.
Not in the slightest. That's what I think you're talking. I think that's what we're talking about here. After week 1, of the Super Weekends, instantly all players, like you said, sitting up forward in their chairs. They got the sleeves on. They're popping off.
Fan
sweat.
blowing high max, fingers,
but I'll tell you what,
ready to go.
Besiktas, week 2, that's exactly what they were doing, right?
Yeah.
They were doing exactly that, and they had to, and they did it, But I think there is a little bit of that factor. At the end of the day, we'll have to see come finals time who's gonna have that aggression, Dave. Who's gonna have that?
Yeah, and I'm definitely not taking away from the fact that, Besiktas are popping off. I think they're doing exactly what they need to be doing. They already qualified, in my opinion, but they're trying to stay really loose, really warmed up, and just prepared for those finals, right? Because they did miss the Super Weekend. So they did mess up somewhere along the lines towards the beginning of the tournament. And this tournament, the league, the Super Weekends, a marathon. The finals, a sprint. So I feel like Besiktas are practicing their ability to perform in these short sprints, right? The Super Weekends. So when we see the clean slate on the finals leaderboard, I think they're going to stay warmed up. We talk about momentum, and Besiktas trying to keep up that momentum. Momentum meaning, by the way, in the book, this is on page 1, it's a driving force gained by the development or the process or course of events. So for Besiktas, the course of events are getting top 5 finishes, getting kills, and getting nice squad wipes and staying alive. So Besiktas are trying to keep that momentum going, keep it flowing into those finals. And we can tell that's exactly what they're doing. When we look at other teams, not so much. Not so much, Hot Jukes.
Not so much indeed. I mean, other teams, they know that they are on the way over, but teams that don't know, that's what we're watching here. They want to have that momentum going into tomorrow. That's going to be super huge. Mad Bulls, sitting right there at the edge. 16th place. Eastern Stars in 17th place. Only 3 points behind them. Those are going to be the 2 teams that I'm going to be taking a close look at. Baluk Chaptan's only 5 behind them. And you're going to see them in the kill feed right now. Reyes is going up against Mad Bulls. That's a huge fight.
Big fight. Big fight. And that's pretty much dead center. We did see that next zone. We got about 70, maybe 65% water. So we're seeing a lot of teams focus on sending it into or near Primorsk here. And it is just nothing but Skittles here on the mini-map I'm looking at. And okay, popping on over here. So S&B in the fields, on the beaches. Now we do have some objects for them to kind of duck behind and use for cover. But Mad Bulls, I feel like, in the more dominant position here. as we look around here. Got the nice little 2-2 split up here in the north. Footballist a little out there to the west of Quarry. But Rise, okay, Rise gonna be making that push here. Ooh.
Beautiful plays there. Nunez, nice shots downfield. And this is a really good position right here, that very pier edge. A dominant spot we've seen a lot of teams have success at. So Rise just looking to continue their dominance going on here. Baluk chopped on. Man, Reyes, gotta make something happen. Gotta make something happen in this match.
Yeah, last game, Baluk kind of got shredded, right? And Baluk, they did get a chicken dinner here 2 games ago. So for them to get a chicken and then get taken out pretty early on last game with only a solo kind of carrying that baton, trying to get those placement points, not the best look. So Baluk up here, they're going to have the Knights to the north of them. They're just trying to set up, right? They're trying to remain consistent with getting some decent placement points here this final match of the evening, so that tomorrow they're going to be looking to qualify here. Rise, though, very pure, right there on the edge, taking some shots at next Rhea.
Yeah, they're going to be holding this position for quite a while. This is going to be pretty dead center in the circle, and these rocks right here poses really great cover for their team. So Rise in a great position for this one. Next circle!
Zone.
Are you serious?
Eastern Stars, though. Eastern Stars, though.
They're just like,
17th position.
Yo! Oh, man.
This
if you're
is the
an Eastern
biggest zone
Stars fan,
for them.
you are screaming.
Where do you go, Hot Jukes? Let me ask you that. Eastern Stars. You have nothing but priority.
No. You go to the nearest gas station and you buy a lotto ticket right now.
In game, dude. Where they go in game on the zone.
Oh, sorry. In the game, I would try to take that complex pretty much dead set. Actually, that complex is a little hard to hold because it is at the bottom of the hill. So honestly, that hill right there, holding that high ground, I think that's the spot. That's the spot. And gatekeep all the teams trying to get on the bridge. Instead, though, they're rotating all the way towards the edge. Look at this bridge. How many squads are full sending it all through? Here comes the Knights, Besiktas, and S2G is trying to gatekeep all of them.
Yeah, you got S2G in the north of this bridge, and then Unicorns of Love in the south of this bridge. So both ends of the bridge currently going to be locked down with the toll, and you're going to have to pay the Viper to make your way through this one. Knights got out the hard way that they didn't have enough money, enough UC to pass that toll. Besiktas swimming underneath the bridge, though. That could be the play in order to make it across alive. But Eastern Stars, kind of touch on them because this is a very important game for them. They're taking out those cliffs on the edge there of the water. I think that's a nice spot for them to potentially get some boat tate kills, boat tate elim points, and even get some limbs on some swimmers across the water. So we'll definitely keep up to date with Eastern Stars for you.
Speaking of, swimmers, Carrillo's trying to swim on over to Sosnovka and gets eliminated on that vehicle. Here comes Xria, full sending it on through. I mean, everybody is trying to cross this bridge at the same time. Here comes Aton Esports behind, the Knights as well. It's just chaos on the bridge, Dave.
The Aton kind of need to be a little more careful when crossing that bridge. They're in 14th overall. So Aton, when we're looking at the bridge, definitely have a lot to lose. Footballers said, forget about that bridge. They're in the blue, heavy in the blue, and they're using that east bridge. So right now, everybody's trying to cross the west bridge for reference. So we'll see if that works out for Footballers. I have to say it will, but Besiktas enjoyed. Was able to make it onto the shore.
This was a great strategy here. So Besiktas got under the bridge and they waited, right? They waited for teams. A little just not cooked to perfection. They waited for teams to kind of just drive underneath those railings and catch them slipping. And it did work to an extent, but they weren't able to get the shots off that they needed. Maybe they needed to start heading for those tires rather than those headshots. And look at this. This was the success that Eastern Stars had. It was when Kapala had a very high ground position, and now he's all the way up top here, Dave, and I have a feeling he's about to go fishing.
I love that spot. Honestly, I would like to have 2 of the Eastern Stars squad mates on there so they could both kind of crossfire anybody they see in the water. Eastern Stars kind of split up once again in this zone, trying to claim as much terrain as possible. But we saw that last game. They did the same thing on Sanhok, and they did lose Octavian in the process. So I feel like when they have such a clear advantage, try to play a little closer together just in case one of their teammates get knocked. You have the ability to pick them back up.
Yes, sir, indeed. We'll see if they're going to be able to even attempt that move. Look at that. Rolkis goes down. Had a great game in the last one, but now just getting gate kept like crazy with this insane circle shift. Honestly, you just see GK first actually be able to make it away. So that was a great play for him. Zessy's going to pick up that point real quick. Besiktas continuing their dominance there. Oh! Great shot from downtown. GK first, man, dude, it always just impresses me. These guys recoil control from such far range. You know, just straight laser beams. Just noticing the slightest pixel that's out of place.
Ooh. I'm looking at over here, man. I'm looking at the west side, dude. Yeah, I'm looking for the little fish pixels. And it looks like Rise were able to swim across the water. They did find some land here. Rise might actually play cleanup because they're the first team to swim across the channel. And you got SMB, you got Mad Bulls.
Oh my gosh, just a great migration.
Yeah, all these teams just swimming right now, trying to get into this next circle.
Oh my goodness, looking like a bunch of whales swimming for some fresh water. But I'll tell you what, some players in there, they're sharks, Dave. They are sharks, and they smell blood on land. And they're about to go and make something happen. Oh, baby. Eastern Stars. Big points. 5 kills so far. And man, this circle shift really did wonders for them. So I'll tell you what, they are poised perfectly to dominate this match. They should win this one, hands down. If they don't, it's because they threw. Straight up.
Yo, Tron was able to get that little tiny island, I believe, and find a foothold. So Tron might be able
There's a nade.
to
I want to see the
get
nade.
some points out there.
Oh, I want to see
By
that
the way,
nade so bad.
footballists, the big brain rotate on that east bridge did not pay off, as they did get taken out. As we see, they're no longer playing in this game. So sometimes those big brain plays you think will work out, they just don't.
I'll tell you what, Dave, I'm gonna put the stat down now, dude. The boat Tate, it works 30% of the time, 100% of the time.
Can't argue with you there.
That's just good math. That's just good math right there. And if you're in the chat and you disagree, add me on Twitter, @HotJukes. Revo goes down to Elion from Baluk Chopped On. So continuing with the storyline, the big one that we're covering here is the teams that need to make it into top 16. Eastern Stars in a dominant position. We know they're good. Where's Baluk though? Where's Baluk Chopped On? What could they do? Unicorns of Love pressing Silas from S2G, trying to be able to do a little bit of a pre-nade there. He's the last one up for S2G, and he's dropping on out. Jump shot. Shut down instantly. So they're going to go down.
You asked for them. This is where they are. This is where they are. Baluk still with 4 up. Fortunate for them, but nowhere to go. Next circle did pop as well. So all those swimmers that decided to go onto that shoreline, it did not pay off. Another team to follow, though. Aton, currently in 14th overall, up here to the north. They're trying to take out the Knights, and they did just that. So Aton setting up for a nice little game here to get some solid points and kind of alleviate some of that pressure because they are one of these bottom teams on the leaderboard.
For sure, Aton does have a little bit of a point buffer, but it's not a big enough buffer to really warrant you know, being comfortable at all. So it's good to see them put up some big points here at the end to make that buffer too great in order to pass up. But who knows? I mean, we're seeing squads here like Eastern Stars have a phenomenal Sanhok match, and now they're having an even better Erangel one here to finish things off. Octavian has to be careful because I believe Tron may see an angle, and yup, he saw it indeed. Gonna get that knock, but here comes from that off angle the teammate of Athis. Can he find the spot and catch Tron? Because if he does, I mean, Eastern Stars are set up pretty. Well,
yeah,
actually,
same thing
you don't gotta do
game,
nothing.
though.
This is not even, they're not even in zone. All he has to do is just hold the spot.
Same thing happened last game though. Octavian kind of getting tunnel vision and losing sight of the bigger picture. But over here, Mad Bulls. Baluk. Swimming, trying to avoid the sightlines.
Oh my goodness. Super massive blaze goes down. That's a tough one right there because they were right on that line. Yeah, they were in 15th place. So Mad Bulls only 1 point behind. They're going to be, you know, looking at them very, very closely. So is the rest of the teams.
You can't do that.
Oh.
He tried driving up there to get his teammates up.
Look at this. The 3 teams that we're looking at. Eastern Stars, Baluk, Mad Bulls, all in the same spot. And but Rise.
Yeah,
right
Garrix
there.
and
Aton?
Nunez. They're going to clean up.
How? I guarantee you,
swimming.
Joko's like, what are we doing? Joko, they actually jumped into the water. What an interesting rotation, because Aton was on land. Instead,
on the north side, too.
Yeah, they decided, hey, let's just swim it on over to the edge. Interesting play.
I mean, Unicorns of Love, they do have a duo up there, but Aton with 4 up.
This blue zone.
Yeah, very interesting. Garrix, Nunez, they're going to clean up. This
Marion?
Clean up crew.
Oh.
What's happening over here?
I have no clue, Dave. I don't even know. Oh, Garrix. Oh, I would have waited. I can't believe he threw that.
Oh, there's a little
hard.
ledge. So Garrix can't see him underneath that ledge. Holy camole. Look at this angle. That's what's happening.
Couldn't get that nade off. And the Mad Bulls in this little almost cave-like angle. Oh, but hello. You forgot about us. It's Milos there. Getting it beautiful. Nice shot there, Milos.
Oh, no, Ying Ying! Ying Ying's from behind!
Ying Ying!
Don't even
Oh my
know.
goodness! No way!
Aton,
No way! Hello! Surprise! It's Ying Ying! Oh, the crowd!
There's 2!
Go up, the down, goodbye!
Aton throwing hard.
Oh,
Ying
my
Yang, the
cow.
Navy seal right there, sneaking up behind. Ying Yang not done yet. Up against Garrix, going for that spray down. 2 bullets on the M4. Got the reload! Ying Yang saving the day for Mad Bulls. Ying Yang, that's a play of a tournament right there. Ying Yang making the highlight real, Hot Jukes.
That one play could literally mean them making it into the next phase. Clutch, I'll tell you that right now. Clutch badge awarded to Yin Yang in that one play. He's already done enough, but he ain't done yet. He's still alive, coming off this edge. Oh, he does get beat up a little bit in the process. He's just shimmying back and forth, hoping to buy some time, hoping that both of these squads of Unicorns of Love and Nextria are too busy with each other so he could sneak on in, but he does end up going down. Cooter, we're not allowing that one to happen.
Still, that is such a huge play for Mad Bulls. 16th, right, coming into this match. So that was massive. Those elim points and then the placement points on top of that. So now the focus definitely turning to Eastern Stars here. Another team very close last game to getting that winner chicken dinner. Watching it kind of slip on out of their hands. But now this game could be their second attempt here today.
This is a big one. This is honestly a big one because they had a huge differential in points for making it into top 16. With that last chicken dinner, or well, close to chicken dinner we saw in Sanhok, that really helped close their gap. But they still had a points buffer. Let's put it this way, Mad Bulls and Eastern Stars, that's a 20-point difference here. So Mad Bulls were able to put up some good points to help, you know, create a little bit more of a gap, but Eastern Stars, I mean, they are set up pretty here. We're about to find out where this next zone's gonna go. If it goes to them, they got this one in the bag.
Yeah, and they got Octavian kind of playing an off angle as well.
They got this.
Oh, they get zone. Okay.
Yeah,
so they
it's
get
all theirs.
zone priority too. Yeah, all they have to do is make sure that nobody makes it out of these buildings alive, pretty much, and that's it. That's it.
AKA,
that could be a
don't
win.
Throw. That's
don't
it.
throw.
Just don't throw. Don't throw and you win this game. And this is going to be a big game for you to win, especially coming off that. I mean, their momentum, Dave. I know I just, you know, discovered the Mustache Dave momentum meter. I got to tell you what, this thing's got to be screaming though. Tell me, Dave. Where's it at?
12 elim points too. Yeah, it's almost 11 out of 10. Not gonna lie, if they can get this winner chicken dinner coming into tomorrow, they're going to be set up pretty fine on the overall leaderboard. And all they need to do is make sure to have some type of consistency, not to throw their slight point lead that they should have if they get this chicken dinner in that 16th or 15th position on the overall leaderboards. Hot Jukes. This could be their game.
Let me ask you this though, Dave. They've already had great performances. Even if they go out now, they still had a great performance. What happens if they lose, Dave? What happens to the momentum then?
Have you ever seen a balloon get popped? That's what happens.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
This should be
that's
it.
What happens.
They should have
this. Has to be it. This has to be it.
Oh.
I mean, they got 4 up. They got 4 up. Okay.
Oh,
one.
and the zone, and the angles,
and a crate.
Oh my goodness.
And a crate. If you lose with the crate, given to you. Oh, Octavio.
Here he comes. Here he comes to save the day. GK first just doing donuts right back into the smoke. Said, you know what? I don't want to be out here just shooting into the wide open. Trying to figure it out, but he's gonna go down. There we go. Eastern Stars with a huge, and I mean huge chicken dinner for this team. I am so excited. I love to see teams that need to put up points so desperately, especially right at the end, able to clutch it up and get it done. Huge congratulations, Eastern Stars. You deserve it. I can't wait to see what you do tomorrow.
Yeah, the dude's swole too in the front. So Eastern Stars, ton of kills, winner chicken dinner. Last game, almost getting that chicken dinner. How much of this chicken though has to be for the simple fact that when we had that military zone shift, they're the only team down there.
100%.
100. But they set up though.
100%.
They did set up to be in that position. But yeah.
But look,
if it went the
that's
other
name
way
of the
though.
game. Yeah.
Is the name of the game? Yeah.
That's the name of the game, though. That's the name of the game. You know, like, you have to be able to clutch it up when you do get that zone blessing. There is a little bit of that in there, right? You got to hope for that circle, but you got to be able to put up consistent points even when that doesn't happen. Eastern Stars just so happened to get a little blessed in this one, but they used it to their maximum potential, and that's what I love to see, because you don't get those kind of zones often. And when you do, though, you have to pop off. You got to get those big kills. You can't just sit and wait and, you know, just get a chicken dinner with just 2 kills. Nuh-uh. They did it proactively. They got some big points, and that's what I like to see from a team like Eastern Stars.
Yeah, they did pop up. They didn't just go to a compound and sit in the compound, turtle up, and just chill, right? They made sure to be proactive, and I think it all comes down to the simple fact of being in good favor with Papa Blue, because if they were not in good favor with Papa Blue, he would have went the opposite direction. So, Eastern Stars, huge game. Whoa, we're driving away. No time. Whoa, okay. 3 vehicles, same spot right there. I would like to see that highlight play from their point of view there.
Oh, the nade. So nice. Dude, this was the play. Oh, we know it's coming. We know it's coming. Out the water real soon here. Xenox getting eliminated there from Aton. They held that angle. Eastern Stars just dominated from that spot continually. And then this is where the magic happens, man. Craziness on the embankment, Dave. You call it.
Yeah, Ying Yang's like, hey, you stay back here, watch. Popping up from behind. I can't believe they didn't even think this was gonna happen. There's 1, there's 2. Milo's trying to swim away, like, hey, he's not gonna get me. But Ying Yang's teammate on the opposite end, flushing it out right there. That's a game-changing play right there for Mad Bulls. That might keep Mad Bulls. That might keep them in that top 16 hot juice, just maybe.
Just maybe. It's gonna be so close. I guarantee you tomorrow it's gonna come down to like 1 point. It always seems to happen, especially when you got so much on the line. But I love to see teams at the bottom really put up some big points to make that a possibility. Man, what a crazy day, Dave. What a crazy day. What was your biggest takeaway?
My biggest takeaway here is we talked about it 3 games ago. Black Dragons. All these teams at the bottom today, Hot Jukes, have been popping off. They have been getting points. Black Dragons have been on the sideline this whole time, not qualifying for this last Super Weekend. They still have 5 more games tomorrow. Black Dragons might not make it, Hot Jukes. That's my biggest takeaway. But let's head on over to the dash to hear their biggest takeaway for this day.
Eastern Star is able to go on ahead and actually grab their 2nd chicken dinner of the Super Weekends. I mean, Zute actually said it himself. That was the best circle shift, best zone gifting, and ability to kind of hold it for themselves.
Oh yeah, like sure they got super blessed with that zone, but they made use of it. We've seen teams get blessed with zones before and they just get overrun by the teams, but Eastern Stars, they split up. They held their angles, picked up a bunch of elims. You saw 15 elims. So today, absolutely massive for Eastern Stars. Speaking about massive, 1,174 damage, 4 elims for Kapahala. This player definitely popping off for the Eastern Stars Team 7.
Definitely. I mean, I have to 100% agree with you there. With the Eastern Stars how they played it, as soon as they realized that they were probably the only team in that circle and everybody else was going to have to start swimming towards them, I love how they went to that shoreline and then just pretty much set camp and set ground and just waited for people to start showing up, and soon enough they were able to secure those elims. This is a team that definitely needed those points, and I can't wait to see what those leaderboards are going to be looking at, as we do see here the head-to-head. I mean, Kapahala, over 1,000 damage. That is just, we usually don't really tend to see that. So when we do see it, especially with the way that they were able to get those damage and those points, I like it. I like it, Sven.
We also get to see that 2 of them ended up traveling the furthest, along with actually a member from Baluch Chubton. So that was a lot of movement coming in this last one. Are we surprised? I mean, the zone the entire time was kind of keeping these players on their toes, thinking it was going to go to the north, and then hard shifting at the very last second back down to the military island on the southern side. I mean, that was just a very difficult one. We could even see at the very end there, Watan with their big rotation, Zute. I mean, that was insane. That's where we got to see Yingyang, of course, going ahead and pop off. And oh wow, these standings, there's a lot of movement towards the bottom, just as the caster said there was going to be.
Yeah, so let's really focus in on the bottom before we head into the next day. Supermassive Blaze dropped 3 places down into that 18th spot, but Luke had an okay game. They put themselves up a placement spot, but Eastern Stars, that's that big one, right? They had a really, really good day today. They are now sitting in 15th, but if you look at the points table right to the right of it, Eastern Stars, they made a little bit of a separation between 15th and 16th place, whereas Black Dragons, well, with all the teams popping off towards the bottom on the very last game, the Black Dragons are looking more and more uncomfortable going into the last day, and they might just end up getting knocked out of the top 16-7.
Oh, definitely. I mean, with that last game, Eastern Stars being able to move up two places, which when you were in 17th place, those are 2 places you definitely want to be able to jump up. Black Dragons jumping down to 14th place, and now the question becomes, can Baluch Chubton score enough points to be able to match Black Dragons? And can Mad Bulls, something that I actually appreciate that we saw in the last game too, is that Mad Bulls was able to collect some points that they definitely needed. They were able to collect at least, it was a total of 10 points. So that was super helpful for them, because if they weren't able to push any of that, if there would have been no elims for Mad Bulls, we would have been telling a completely different story right now, and Baluch Chubton would be that team in 16th place. I think it's going to come down to tomorrow, and I'll tell you what, Span and Sue, I think Black Dragons, as Hot Jukes was alluding to, they're going to be biting their nails. They're going to be freaking out and being super, super worried, Span, because right now it's looking like they might not make it to the finals with the way these teams are performing.
I mean, as of right now, the Eastern Stars only 4 points away from them. They have 5 whole games to kind of jump over them, and that's definitely achievable. Mad Bull's a little bit further away, but at the rate that these games have been going, I mean, they definitely had been catching up the entirety of today, and it was only these last 2 matches where they really started making some movement. So if that's the case, I feel like they're going to bring that into tomorrow, and Black Dragons are definitely going to have to be concerned. So we'll have to keep an eye on that, of course, tomorrow, whether there's going to be the last 5 matches. And don't forget that while we are having these matches go on, you guys should be going on ahead, getting these tokens and redeeming them for treasure boxes. The first stage of the treasure box right now ends at December 21st. You can enter the in-game center and use the PMGC tokens there to redeem them. You can go on ahead and get them by watching live on YouTube, in the in-game esports center, or through our social media events. And the second stage, of course, is also going to start shortly. It'll start on December 22nd, so please stay tuned, because there's a lot more surprises. Just look at the skins, look at all this stuff that you guys can go ahead and potentially win for yourself. So just watch live and earn rewards as per usual. But oh man, we had a couple of questions for the entirety of today. We're kind of wondering who is going to be able to kind of bring themselves out of the bottom half of the leaderboard, or how these teams are going to play. What is the thing that kind of stood out to you the most, Sute?
Well, a lot of things stood out to me, and you mentioned questions. All I'm looking forward to is tomorrow And I got 3 questions, all right? Number 1, who's going to be number 1 at the end of the entire weekend? Who's going to be number 1 overall? My second question is, who's making top 16, right? That's the big one. And number 3, is Xset and Fenerbahce going to keep punching each other out for the entirety of the last day? And who's going to take it? And will they be friends afterwards? Those are my 3 questions. Those are the 3 things I'm looking forward to tomorrow, 7. What about you, man?
I think Xset better continue to fight Fenerbahce, because right now they're pretty much just fighting for their pride in a way. There's no way this team's going to make a miracle run now. It's over. As the caster's been saying, as you guys been saying it too, it's absolutely over. I mentioned it at the beginning of the day. I was like, tomorrow, it's probably going to be a lot of Twitter clip gathering. I think that's what Xset's going to be doing tomorrow. Just gathering their Twitter clips, making sure they have enough for the Christmas holiday, and then get ready for next season.
Oh man, I love that last question. Will Fenerbahce and Xset continue to punch each other out? I mean, we will get to be able to see that answer shortly, because these matches are tomorrow. Same time, same place. 5 matches to determine the top 16 that will be moving on to the West Final. So that is it for today. Thank you so much for tuning in to PUBG Mobile Global Championship 2021 West League. We have one more day of this super weekend. We will catch you guys then. Otherwise, until then.